Question for you. You're holding the mic again that way.
Okay.
What if I told you the Dolphins re-signed Micah Fitzpatrick to a 3-year, $40 million deal?
I'd say fantastic.
What if I said he got traded to the Jets and the Jets signed him to that deal?
Be very unhappy.
Well, that's what happened.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I mean, the thing about Micah Fitzpatrick is that he is a first round.
Oh, wow. Now he's good all of a sudden.
No.
That was a quick 180.
But look, we have a lot of money. We have like the third highest amount of cap in the NFL. And so we're not going to spend it all. And we have desperate needs at secondary. And he has been a good player in the past. And maybe since we have a head coach whose superpower is calling plays, maybe he could, I don't know. I guess it could work. What?
You're holding the mic by the cord again.
I'm not.
You're holding it. That thing at the bottom is not a part of the microphone.
Here.
Yeah, the microphone part is the part you're supposed to hold. You just went back to doing it. Again, you can hit the time codes to jump to the golf. I promise it's coming.
At Mayo Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, the Players Championship picks, bets, preview, plus a one and done. Geoff Fienberg, I just saw you in Florida. How are you?
I am doing great. Players Week, let's go. Everyone is excited. Who's going to win the Players? What is like Donna Kelsey's backsplash in her kitchen going to look like? These are the important questions.
Listen, if TMZ is getting clicks out of it, you know that they're going to put it up. You told me you got some great CLV on people so far. Who did you get over the weekend?
Oh, so while we were in Florida, Pat, I was just sending the carrier pigeon signals out to get some of that Ludwig 45 that was sitting there. And then on the weekend, I hit some Cam 50 over at Phillip Rivers, some Minwoo 80 at Phillip Rivers. And then for a while, I'd mentioned, I don't even remember what he won now. Oh, was it when Bridgman won? I grabbed some 150 of him. I don't even know why, but I thought that would be a great number. I don't even care to have that bet, but yeah, so I got 4 bets already, but if it's a major week, my exposure is going to go up tenfold.
Well, this isn't a major.
It's being told. Nope. The last one, is this going to be the worst ever Players to win?
Oh, I don't know about that. We'll see. I wrote it up in the column. You can get the column. It's completely free. It's up on my Substack right now. Just click the description. You can get link directly to it. I threw it up on X. Additionally, I want to let everyone know 2 big things. 1, the rabbit hole. You've seen me use the product, simulations, head-to-head simulators, optimizers for DFS Plus, the most customizable research tools around in the world, entire world, maybe even the galaxy. Who knows? I'm going to say yes to that. But BetSportsGolf.com, right now, you can hit the description or just go to BetSportsGolf.com. You enter code Sawgrass, you get it for $1 this week. If there's ever a time to get in, it is now, because it costs you $1. And if you're not on Underdog doing drafts, you should be. Code Mayo at Underdog right now gets you a deposit bonus of up to $1,000. But we are treating this like a major show, despite the fact that it is not a major, which means we need a very special guest to tell us who he thinks is going to win. So joining me in studio is the Ayatollah of driving a Corolla, Tim Andergust.
Tim Andergust.
It's not my name. I'm sorry. I thought I was here to talk about David Montgomery being traded to the Texans.
No.
All my notes are useless now.
Football's soon. Football's soon.
Oh, dear. Okay.
Of note for people who enjoy Geoff, Tim, and I is that we have banked a show. There's also a show with you, me, and Garion that will be released when my baby is born, which is soon. And we'll do the Cut Sweat show this week if the baby isn't born yet. Maybe even if the baby is born, maybe I can sneak out for 3 hours to watch the player. Well, Geoff, I had my run of baby swag on the go. I thought Chandler Blanchet was gonna get across the line for me in Puerto Rico because he hit first round leader at 70-1. He clinched his top 3 at 28-1. The 140-1 win would have been nice.
Oh, I was rooting for you. I didn't have anything going on there, but I was enjoying watching. I was enjoying flipping back and forth. Rarely without a bet would I flip back and forth, but I was captivated by a lot of the names on the leaderboard. It wasn't the Josh Teeters of the PGA orbit. It wasn't sort of the mule class battling it out. It was all these up and comers. So I really enjoyed watching that.
Yeah, there were five. I looked at the leaderboard at one point. It was 5 young guns and John Perry, who was there, who's like a 37-year-old British journeyman who earned
And I
his
made
tour
my
card.
entire betting card out of young guns, and none of them happened to be there. So.
Well, I said last week if Ricky Castillo ended up winning, I would honor him calling him Ricky Castillo, and then he won and beat my guy. So in my face. As you mentioned, it's kind of like Brett Favre. If this is the way he says it, I guess this is what we're going with.
Did you have Rom?
No, I had Burmeister, who was winning after 36 holes. Everyone else was minus 14 on the weekend. He was 1 under.
I'm not, I mean, there's no credit to take, but yeah, it was the only bet. I had no live action, so I didn't even capitalize on what I couldn't even find Rom 4-1. And that was sort of where it would have been worth it for me. And then when we were on the plane, the best I could access was like 290. So I was like, nope.
Would have won.
It would have won. Listen, a 4-1 bet is a 4-1 bet. It's better than a 0 bet.
Yeah.
Which is what I got from Liv. Because, my guys, 2 weeks in a row, Burmeister's failed to show up on the weekend. He was the 36-hole leader in South Africa 2 weeks ago, too. Stupid. Me.
You must have liked that King of Kong
documentary
poster that Callaway dropped last night, Tim.
I didn't see this.
Did not see it.
Oh, John Rahm, Hong Kong, King of Kong.
Oh, there's only one King of Kong, and that's fucking Billy Mitchell, okay?
USA. Donkey Kong Killstream coming up, guys.
Love Billy Mitchell. So you're here. Give us some picks. Who do you think is gonna win the Players' Championship?
Well, you get to make 3 picks at major or major adjacent events.
Does that mean you get to pick 8 for this one?
Yeah, so I'm making 3 picks. My third pick, bronze medal, is Corey Connors. Plays well at this course historically. He doesn't win, but he plays well.
Did you watch the research show?
No, I didn't have time this weekend. We'll get into why my whole weekend was messed up. At least my whole Sunday was messed up.
Are you all right?
Time change. My second pick is Seb Straka.
Oh no, it's the only bet I have in so far.
And my winner is Justin Rose.
So are you sure you didn't watch the research
No,
show?
what I remember you telling me was to go look at the Memphis tournament. And whoever did well in Memphis does well here. So I just looked at Memphis and I said, well, Rose won that. He did win this year. So it's not like he's been like a loser. He's won this year. He was on the President's Ryder Cup team. And he almost won the Masters. So those are my 3 picks.
Why do I tell you anything? I wanted to bet Justin Rose.
Well, you can.
I don't know if
I've hit winners several times at this event. So
that is untrue.
I've hit several winners at this event.
Oh
So
my God, he's doing this.
I know he's going for it right away. So
I
please,
hit McIlroy in 2019.
McIlroy in 2019.
Congrats. Your first ever big game hunt.
And you could contend that I got it the next year too.
You mean the year that the tournament didn't take place or
it
finished
took
the first round?
Well, 4 people didn't finish.
Well, the first round was incomplete, and you're declaring
4 people didn't finish.
If you actually pick guys to win on a regular basis, then you wouldn't have to take credit for an incomplete 1-round victory.
It was essentially a complete.
It was. What is
4
this?
people.
What does essentially complete
4
mean?
people didn't
no,
finish.
Hold on.
And the best score who didn't finish was 1 under.
Okay.
They had holes in 1 on 18, and they still wouldn't have caught
This
a minus
is your
9.
worst gambling adjacent take that you've ever
it's
had
not.
on
It
the
really
PN.
is.
Oh no, it's far. I think
No,
my
like, it's really
my
gambling.
long take is worse.
You've
than
made predictions, but like this one, in terms of like sort of a bet or a pool, it is your worst.
this. Okay.
It is your worst take in that genre in the history of this show.
All right. Okay.
When you say several winners, does that mean 2?
Yes.
Gotcha.
He had
Two?
Wyndham
Yeah.
Clark and Rory McIlroy.
That's a very liberal use of the word several, I would say.
People forget I'm the big game hunter.
Are you?
Yes.
It's going to be.
I don't want to laugh at any of his picks. They seem like very fine picks, but I mean, good. Tim is calling for it to go down the board this week, so that's good.
Why didn't you go with JJ Spawn? He came second.
I already picked JJ Spawn this year, and he was terrible.
Yeah, but this
Just
isn't a one
terrible.
and done.
Speaking of the one and done, okay, so I took because you people have been bullying me.
Well,
for
maybe
several. Let me.
I
take my
didn't
point.
bully you.
I
I said that
finally
maybe
took Rory.
Rio Hitsasune wasn't a great
Yeah, we
pick.
didn't
on a
bully you, we
signature
just
event
laughed
at
at you.
Riviera.
So after weeks of me taking who I thought was going to win, I finally take your bullying advice to take an elite player. And what happens is Rory, it's exactly like people who remember the football show. I had a free money parlay like 10 years ago, and it would have won, but I got bullied into adding another team to it,
You
and
didn't.
it lost.
No, you didn't get bullied.
Bullied.
You didn't get bullied. You said
I'm being bullied now.
when When you asked what the line should be in a Jets-Bucks game, you said it was a bye week before a bye week.
I know what I said.
That is how much the Jets
you
are going to
said
win
they-
by.
hold on.
So we said, maybe you should put them on your stupid free money teaser. You're like, okay, you bullied me into it, and then they lost. Maybe you shouldn't have said that it was a bye week before a bye week.
You said they were going to get shut out. Like that, you said that multiple times. So then we just figured, why would you not put that game on your free money tickets?
Why aren't you picking all the best golfers in the one and done? You should be picking elite guys. It's an elevated
I don't know
event.
that I bullied
Withdrew.
you for Hatsune, but I did laugh at you for picking him in a signature event.
I would have done better than picking Rory.
Rory got some money.
He withdrew. Did he get anything?
Yeah,
So-
because he made the cut.
So you get like the amount of the last place
I
finisher?
believe. You know what? I'm going to confirm that. I should go see if that's actually true or not. Because
Yes,
the guy.
I believe that is true.
Okay.
But I believe that is true.
Okay.
So that's good news.
Great.
It's the guy who's in first place in the $1,000 one and done. No, he didn't get money for it.
Okay.
That should get updated, I think, but I don't know. I
Poor
don't know.
Rory.
If you
maybe there's a new rule on that. I feel like back in the day, you did get, but
But now
just
it's like
the
six
second
guys
time
make the
ever,
cut.
Rory. Just the second time ever, Tim, that Rory withdrew in a tournament.
yeah, the last one I think was in 2013 at the Honda Classic. So
So
good for you for you really put the stink on Rory, and now you've thrown the entire odds board into
Yeah,
that.
I don't think he'll play this week.
I think he. I mean,
If he does, I don't know if he'll finish this week.
it was
Wait
just
a second.
He was.
Where are
he was-
you what are you basing that off of?
He withdrew. His back was so. He had a chance
But
to
maybe
win.
he withdrew because of this. Like,
I think he had a
we
real
don't
chance to
know
win
the
yesterday.
answer.
He had a real chance
And
to
I
win
read-
the API.
We're all guessing because as I read Pat's newsletter, we don't know. We don't get good at golf injury information. Maybe with a player like Rory, there's a chance to get better injury information, but there's nothing that they can get fined on or anything like that where they have to be transparent. And I think it's just a guess. My guess is he just was extra precautionary and he will play and he won't withdraw, but that doesn't mean I want to bet on him.
and his back spasms are no different than the back spasms I had with you last year that went away in like 3 days.
Yeah. Okay.
Back spasms aren't something that just, unless you have like serious critical back problems, they don't persist for weeks.
Just wouldn't want
He's
to.
in incredible shape. Like he is in
Thanks, Geoff.
incredible shape. So
Good
you would
point.
think if it's a spasm like Pat, like it's not going to persist too long.
And he does have access to the best medical team.
I want
and staff.
nothing to do with him this week, or Smotherman, who I was going to pick this week as one of my three.
So he also, so the guy that you picked last week withdrew, and the guy that you were going to pick this. When did you first hear of Austin Smotherman?
He
8
played
days
great
ago?
a couple weeks ago. I was like, oh, Smotherman, I'm on board. I really do like Hisatune. He's becoming one of my guys.
Why didn't you pick him?
Because he drinks water?
I just think he's going to be a part of the President's Cup champion team this year. I really like what I've seen from
What
him.
did
He's
you
competing
just
really-
say?
I think the international team are going to win the President's Cup.
Why?
I think they're due. I think they've actually got some good players, and I think the U.S. team is still in a bit of turmoil.
Give me the President's Cup's 5 best players. International.
Best 5 players? Okay, well, I would say it's Matsuyama.
Okay.
I would say that it is probably still Adam Scott.
Oh my God. Okay, so this team's stacked, is what you're telling me. Your second best player is Adam Scott at 45 years old.
Siwoo Kim.
Okay, Siwoo Kim.
Sungjae probably is on that team still.
Sungjae just played a tournament after coming. He and Justin Thomas both returned from injury and were
I
terrible.
think Potgieter's got a case to be on that team.
So your 4th best player is now Potgieter on this team.
Hisatune is going to be on that team.
Okay, so there's your
Corey
5.
Connors is going to be on that team.
This team
so
sucks.
Hendrith is probably going to be
Yeah,
on
this
that
team
team.
is horrible.
This team
What are you
is
talking
going to
about?
get dog walked.
When
The U.S. team is in turmoil.
Okay, so we just went down the
Define
list.
turmoil.
Where we're at on your list, like Xander is that level of like when you say Pendrith, Xander is like the U.S. equivalent right now.
Do you
Okay.
think they're like Penn State, where just because they lose a tough game, then they're going to go lose this 30-point favorites to UCLA? Like, I don't understand.
Okay, well, I understand. I remember we talked about this in Montreal, that you said the President's Cup is a large appliance wager for you. So go ahead and do that. Go ahead.
The odds are actually bigger this year than most, but I have said before, sometimes it's like 280. It's like near the end of July, minus 280, I mean, 300. And I look at that and I'm like, I don't know. Like I can like put the money down now and get a free washer dryer in 2 months. Yeah.
It's minus 400 this time.
Not having Mike Weir as captain, big plus.
Yes, that
Big
I will agree with you on.
It's Ogle. Who is it again?
Jeff
it's
Ogilvy.
in Medina.
Yeah, that
Yeah, you didn't even mention Nico, Tim.
Echeverria played great there when he won last week. Yeah, there's some exciting, interesting players. We'll see. I got a feeling. I got a hunch. I'm calling it. So the credit's mine if it happens.
is he talking into the microphone enough?
No, there
'Cause
it
he
just
keeps-
went a
he
bit.
He keeps leaning back and
Yeah, I
talking.
shouldn't be doing that. I
And
apologize.
when you're out of the rhythm
I know, I'm out
of every week.
I'm out of practice.
So Rose, Straka, and Corey Connors for you. What drew you to Seb Straka? I'd like to know.
Loves DC.
He does love DC. That's true.
He was on the President's Cup team. I really like Seb
He
Straka.
was not on the President's Cup team.
Or the Ryder Cup team.
Okay.
On the Ryder Cup team. I just like Seb Straka. So he's been playing decent golf. Looking at guys who are playing decent golf, who I think have a chance to either have won a major or might win a major this year. And with Connors, it's just like a heart pick. He plays well at this tournament year on year, despite never having a chance to win. So feel like if you could bet him top 8, that'd be great because he's got top 8 written all over him.
He was T6. He loves coming T6 at this tournament.
There you go. So him, Straka, and Rose. Rose is the most underrated player. I know he hasn't played great since he won. He's like the most underrated golfer out there in a lot of ways.
It's not that he's underrated. I think people
Seem to forget he almost won the Masters.
I think people properly rate Justin Rose is that he's only good once every 2 months.
Okay,
I
but
don't
it's been
think
2
you can
months.
say he's one of the most underrated. Only unless you're saying how we rate him is disrespectful, because I would argue no one, like outside of Rory, has done more for their legacy in the last year and a half than Justin Rose.
I don't know if that's true. That's true for people like you who despised Justin Rose, who no longer
No.
despise Justin Rose.
No.
I don't think most people did like
the
that.
whole parlay. Hold on, the whole potpourri of like all of his friends went to live. He stayed in the fire. He battled. He picked himself out of it. How he performed last year in the playoffs with the Ryder Cup stuff, and then to get the win this year. Even people who had such a high affinity for Justin Rose, like he took it. He like leveled up. He leveled up, and for a player with his credentials and have already won a major championship, it's actually so hard for a player like that to level up without like winning another major.
Well, he won the Olympic gold medal. That's kind of a major.
Yeah, but that didn't seem like that then. It seems more like that now because the Olympic golf has become a bit more prestigious.
He's the old Tom Morris of the Olympic gold medals.
Well,
he won it when it didn't matter
Well,
to a lot
remember,
of people.
no one went to Brazil
Because of the Zika virus.
because of the Zika virus, and none of all the very top, like Kuchar was on the American team.
Yes, he was.
So was
Listen,
Ricky.
I know it's like the lightning rod now because they have an agenda, but to me, the players and the Olympic gold are kind of like worth the same.
I would agree with that. I think that's the perfect, the notch below the major. And this is what I wrote about in the column, and I discussed it a bit on the research show too, is that since the move to March, I've actually enjoyed the players a lot more because I felt like until recently when Brandel was back on it's the fifth major thing, I feel like they've gotten away from that a lot, that it's been positioned as the PGA Tour's most prestigious event, which it is. And it happens before all the majors, so it gives you a good sense of what the majors are kind of gonna be like. I didn't like when it was squeezed in between majors because it gave it this sort of faux prestige that is best reserved for the PGA Championship than anything else. Like, if you're below the PGA Championship in the pantheon of majors, you're not a major.
No, but if it really is going to be the kickoff event next year.
Is that true? Is that true?
No, we don't. Well, we don't.
So
know
let's not
But
speculate.
even if it's a kickoff event, that still like it's this great event. We all acknowledge its incredible place as like the fifth most important tournament. Why does making it the kickoff event make it a major?
I don't think it would make it a major, but I think it would give it more prestige if it was the first
I think
tournament.
so too.
Like, because the Daytona 500's first, right?
It sure is.
That like, hey, we're starting the season. Everyone's here. This means a ton. It's the biggest purse of the year. That would make sense to me.
It
The
would.
shame
I
on
wouldn't
them.
like it.
The shame on them to like use any NASCAR talking points when I've made fun of their FedEx Cup playoffs having 2 trophies, when like NASCAR, afraid to have 2 winners in their last race of the year. When NASCAR's fans who, I would say just like a random polling would say not as smart as golf fans,
Ooh.
but that's debatable, I guess. can handle two leaderboards with two different concepts. But golf fans, oh my God, they'll be confused, Pat.
You notice how he waited till he left Florida to start, berating stock car racing.
I like NASCAR. I'm the one out of all of us. I got 3 NASCAR T-shirts. I'm sure the collection of yours is a total of 0.
Ha! You think that's true? It is not true.
It is not true.
It is not true. We won't get into it, but it's not true.
Tim used to be a big, despite being afraid to drive, Tim, big NASCAR guy.
I used to watch a lot of NASCAR when I was younger. In fact, when they changed the points formula in like 2004, 2005, that's kind of when I got out of NASCAR because I hated the whole race for the chase playoff thing. Like, I enjoyed when the Winston Cup was just whoever won the most points actually won.
Oh, really? I thought the Winston Cup champion was who could smoke the most cigs while going around the track at the
Jeff
same
Gordon
time.
didn't keep that youthful look by smoking Marlboros. I'll tell you that
Were
right
you
now.
anti-Jeff Gordon?
No, I was not anti-Jeff Gordon. I was not. I was anti-Dale Earnhardt, which is the controversial one. I was never a fan of, like, everyone was like, big about, he's like the Intimidator.
Well, the Intimidator looked like he enjoyed himself at 2 packs a day.
I never cheered for him, but I also didn't cheer for any of the Chevrolet drivers. I didn't hate Jeff Gordon, but I didn't like Jeff Gordon.
But Jeff Gordon's a California guy, right?
I used to cheer for Dale Jarrett. He used to race the UPS.
Where is Akshay? Where was he born? Was it California or is he from the East Coast?
I'm not sure.
Pretty sure it's California, right? I only say this because in his post-round interview, he had like the most Valley guy accent of all time.
So I didn't quite know what he sounded like. And then
he's real nerdy.
Afterwards, I was like, wow, he does sound like he's from Beverly Hills.
Yeah, like I
didn't know what he was going to sound like.
He lives in North Carolina now. Yeah, he's from California, so that makes totally, like, he just has that. He's like, bro, it was a great shot, and he kind of sounds like Malibu from American Gladiators, just hanging with some cosmic rays.
I do like a lefty, and I do like seeing a lefty win.
So you're going to pick him at the Masters, this we know.
I'm not certain that I will.
You don't think that he can make every chip and every putt at Augusta to win?
Probably not, and probably won't have Berger decide to not really compete the last few holes.
So I thought this was interesting. I mean, the up and down was actually great. I think he made the right choice laying up on 18.
He lost. He got beat. I don't know that he lost, but he got beat.
I thought he shifted down a gear in the last couple of
It
holes.
did, but like Morikawa last year, you could sense even through the front, he hit a neutral spell, and then he got beat. He just got beat. The up and down, like, to Pat's credit, that bogey was an amazing bogey, and that was his bogey. Like, the playoff 18 got him on the end of the Saturday round. It got him pretty much. He couldn't execute it at all yesterday, but like Morikawa, he got beat. Like, that's how I felt. It didn't feel like Lowry, but you felt like, man, that was tough.
It wasn't like Lowry, but I just felt like
it was a lot like when Rory lost to Cam Smith at the Open Championship. It felt like he got out by so much that he's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hit it to 40 feet every single time. I'm not going to put
They were saying that on the broadcast.
And the broadcast was giving him so much credit.
All he's got to do is hit 40 feet from the hole, 2-putt. You're going to walk away with this, because he was going wire to wire. I don't know if you knew that. I heard that 5,000 times yesterday.
But then Ashkay hit like a 54-footer on 12 or 11. It was like, oh man.
Well, he chipped in, and then he made the huge
bomb.
The
chip in was fantastic.
It was. Oh, listen, it's a lot of luck when it comes down.
I thought
to
he was going to chip in on the 72nd.
I thought he was too.
I thought it was a very makeable chip too.
Either way, it's like that stuff.
And he went 3-wood off the tee on the 72nd hole, which was surprising because he went right to the big wood on the playoff hole. It was weird that he played that hole very differently both times back to back.
Well, they did say that when they got to the 72nd hole, 18th tee, that a big, huge gust of wind came in. So you'd probably want to keep the ball.
His 3-wood was still 5,000 feet higher than Berger's drive. Who hits it like me? Berger hits it like everything, a worm burner off the tee.
The crop duster.
Yeah. They're like, well, the problem with that drive is he's 215 yards away from the hole. It's like, what do you mean? It's the last hole of the tournament. How is he that far away? Like, that 18th hole was almost as bad as Tommy Fleetwood's 18th at Oakdale.
No, because he made an incredible up and down to get the playoff, though, too.
And it was a great camera work from NBC to have that whole conversation with the caddy about, here's what you need to do. And, like, Berger had decided, here's what I'm doing. And, like, the caddy was being overruled, and it was, like, a great conversation. He's like, put it in the bunker, and then put it on the green. And they made that 13-footer. I was certain he was going to miss it.
And they're buddies. They played practice rounds together, and apparently, they play often together.
I felt bad for Berger. I kind of wanted him to win. Well, I hadn't won him forever.
He's on He's one of my like back end guys. We've always been soft spots for Berger on this channel. I think.
Oh, for sure. But my favorite player ends up beating him, despite the fact that I did not bet him. I love Akshay. I love to see Akshay win. And I think it was Sam who pointed out, or Tyler who pointed out that like it's been leveling up. He won an alt event, then he won like a mid tier at Valero. Now he wins the API. Big things are coming for Akshay.
Yeah.
And he's 5 years younger than Morikawa. He's younger than the Højgaards. He's 23 years old.
Yeah, Shinnecock Hills is calling.
Oh, I don't know about that. He doesn't have enough distance for there. As you saw.
No, he doesn't, but he's a shot maker.
Well, that really came down to it. Berger tried not to lose that tournament. Akshay tried to win that tournament. However, he got incredibly lucky, and he hit the shot of his life on 16.
When it just got over the water?
And went to 2 feet and tapped in for
yeah.
eagle.
That was fantastic.
Well, no, even on the 72nd hole, it felt like he got a bit unlucky that it didn't fly further.
He shot on Saturday where it just cleared the water. And he was like,
all the luck ran Akshay's way. I think if Berger plays like that, 9 times out of 10 in that final round, he wins.
once you get up by 5, you probably should win that late.
Yeah.
You probably should win. You're up 5.
He was up 4 at the listen. I don't know if he was at 4 or 4 on the bet I had, Pat, because I had bet. I mean, I took an L. I bet Berger. I didn't bet the event, but on Sunday morning, I bet Berger over Akshay. I was like, Akshay's driving it all over the map. At some point, all of it's not going to add up. And then you got the whole bag, like the incredible par saves, the like 3, 7, 8 footers on the first 3 holes to save pars. And then all the great putts throughout. But then, I'm counting my money. I was counting my money. I was like, yes, thinking, whatever. Yeah, so I lost a bet. I lost that bet.
Fun
Should have cashed out.
Looking at the rabbit hole right now. Again, betspertsgolf.com. Hit the description. Code Sawgrass gets it for you for $1 this week. The full suite of tools. Plus, you'll have access to the live leaderboard, which is very, very valuable for making in-play bets, head-to-heads, daily balls, and you can go to the head-to-head simulator, even if it's 3 balls or groups of 5. You can plug those in and get your sims. betspertsgolf.com. Berger leads in approach. Do you know who number 2 was? This is why it was a big thing for me. For the week. On strokes gained, approach per round.
Henley?
Justin Rose, despite missing the cut because he was so bad putting and so bad off the tee.
He's been bad every week except for when he won, basically.
Yes. Number 3 on that list, a guy who made the cut but lost over 10 strokes putting for the week, Taylor Pendrith.
Canadian.
Then Ludwig, then Ryan Gerard, who also missed the cut, Keith Mitchell, Minwoo, and Joel Damon, who missed the cut. Then it was Straka and Hoagie. So all the guys that you would, on paper, like coming into the players, did things that, in my mind, you win the players by hitting all your approaches to 10 feet and making half the putts. That's how you win.
Usually.
The only guy who didn't do that in the past 15 years to win the players was Webb Simpson, who made every putt and every chip.
And that was it was May then too. So I think a lot of those previous to March ones you can kind of throw out.
I tend to agree. That was the case that I made.
Of course, plays so much differently 2 months later, right?
Well, I mean, it's not pure Bermuda grass greens. It's Poa Travalis. That's a big thing. So it's more like Phoenix and the American Express.
It's going to be wetter than it would be 2 months later. Yes, it's the same course, but no, it's not.
And it's colder too.
It's like saying that Pebble in February is the same as Pebble at the U.S. Open. No, it's not. It is, but it isn't.
It's funny because obviously it plays harder with the USGA setup when it's more burnt out. If they set it up like that in February, it would be so hard.
Of course it would, because of the moisture in the rough. Yeah.
You just wouldn't be able to get it out of the rough.
No, it would be like Oakdale. Or Oakmont, sorry.
Not Oakdale.
No, not Oakdale.
Oakdale got you pretty good, though.
Oh, well, yeah, of course. It's a good course.
How was you played Aronimink this weekend?
I played
too.
Aronimink on the TrackMan Sims. Oh, boy. You better be a very straight driver of the ball and a very good sand player.
Did you have any questions about Geoff and I going to TGL?
I have so many questions.
Well, you know what? We are going to get to that right after this. It's winter and it's cold, at least where I'm at, and I'm spending way more time indoors, aka I'm sleeping more. If you're like me, it's time to upgrade your sleep and switch to Helix. You'll never go back. I took the Helix sleep quiz. It matched me to the right mattress for how I actually sleep, not how some showroom goober thinks I sleep. And since it's been all restful nights, no tossing, no back pain, and my sleep tracking actually backs that up. My deep sleep numbers off the charts, good, way better than before. We've got more than just one Helix in our house now, too. Just threw one in the upcoming baby's room so I can get back to sleep quickly the moment that the baby goes down. Helix builds mattresses for different people, not a one-size-fits-all nonsense, because that wouldn't make any sense. There's free shipping in the United States and a 120-night sleep trial with a limited lifetime warranty. Go to helixsleep.com/mayo for 27% off, site-wide exclusive for listeners of the Pat Mayo Experience. That's helixsleep.com/mayo. Do it now! A well-built wardrobe isn't about having more clothes, it's about having the right pieces that actually work together and hold up over time. That's what Quince does best. Quince has the everyday essentials that I love with quality that lasts. Organic cotton sweaters, polos for any occasion, lightweight jackets that keep you warm as the seasons start to shift, all designed to be easy to wear and easy to rely on. They work directly with top factories and cut out the middleman. So you're not paying for brand markup, just quality clothing that's built to handle daily wear and still look good season after season. The wool coat I picked up from Quince is holding up way better than the other coats that I bought for way more. Looks good, keeps me warm, didn't break the bank. Refresh your wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/mayo for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. It's now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/mayo. I'm currently 4 months off cigs, and cravings aren't just about nicotine. They're about habit. The hand-to-mouth motion, that quick pause during the day and when you're trying to quit, it's breaking that loop that's the hardest part. That's why people replace smoking with eating, something of which I am very guilty of. That's where Fume comes in. Not only is Fume spelled with an umlaut, which is awesome, Fume is a flavored air device designed to help you ditch vaping or smoking by replacing the habit itself. No nicotine, no batteries, no vapor, just a weighted, twisty, fidget-friendly device that gives your hands and mouth something to do when the cravings hit. I've had these moments where I just normally reach for a cig. Instead, I just grab my Fume to fidget with. That interruption is exactly why it works. The flavors are lighter too. Think like flavored water versus soda. Crisp mint, strongest if you're a heavy user. Raspberry, got some more of that tangy sweetness. It's quite nice. Fume has already helped over 700,000 people take steps towards better habits. And now, it's your turn. Use my code MAYO to get a free gift with your Journey Pack. Head to tryfume.com. That's tryfum.com and use code MAYO to claim your free gift today. Welcome back to the Pat Mayo Experience. Smash a like and sub to the channel while you're here. And again, we have a pool going on, a Pat Mayo pool in the Fanball app. So download the Fanball app. That's completely free. We got a Pat Mayo Experience 5x5 contest. You get $15. You get to pick 5 players, and they're all ranked $5, $4. I made it easy for someone like you. That sounds like something you could do. Here's your $15 budget. It's like the lines of players. You could do. I feel like you could do that.
I don't know what you're talking about. Whole menu.
Exactly. Yeah. So some players are 5, some players are 4, and you have lines 5x5. But you can allocate your $15 either way. The Pat Mayo contest will be up on Monday evening on the Fanball app. You can get all your one and done stuff in there as well. But you wanted to ask about TGA.
I have so many questions about the trip. Maybe we should take it chronologically. So, what's it like to hit off of the actual stuff there? What does it feel like?
They didn't give us the grass the day that we were there.
Okay.
Because they only had so much grass left.
Granted.
For the rest of the playoffs. It's like hitting off of a regular TrackMan simulator.
We talked about this at the sim, and I think you were right about the sim, but if you at TGL got a hole-in-one, I would count that.
Yes.
I would have counted that as a hole-in-one for your life.
Yes, I think that, Jeff, I think Tom Kim's ace counts as a real ace. Well, I think if I had put it in during when I was hitting off of it, it would not have counted.
If you're just like mucking around hitting like a rack of balls, it wouldn't count. If you were actually like playing,
yes,
like you're playing a course, maybe that's a different thing. I'm still tempted to say like it doesn't count, but if Tiger Woods tells you it counts, then I guess you get to count it.
Did you drink one of Tom Kim's beers?
2.
Oh boy.
I wasn't in the building for that.
No, you were gone.
Well, there's
by
not
that.
a lot. Listen, you know.
So now Jeff described to me the green room at TGL, but it wasn't detailed. So there was like a clear, he said, pasta with chicken. Can you put some meat on the bones?
God. Pat, I told Pat, Tim has been bothering me about the exact specifications of the pasta for like a day and a half.
They went to some fucking Italian place and brought in like a.
I want to hear about it.
Do you know
I
like
didn't ask
chicken
you.
marsala or
It was-
something? It's like there's chicken and then there's like a pasta, but it's like I don't want to call it I don't know. It's not like a red sauce or a white sauce, just like a clear sauce. Like, get over it.
Confused.
It's just fucking Italian food. They're like mass-produced Italian food they brought in.
This is why I didn't ask you.
Well,
I knew what kind of answers you would give me. So I'm asking Geoff.
But I don't know. It was like a linguine noodle with like a clear sauce that I believe paired with the chicken. And I cannot believe I knew you'd ask about the food, but I did not know you'd still be looking for the specifics on the pasta.
I've been
here.
thinking about it all week.
Why?
I've been thinking about it.
They gave us Chick-fil-A the next day.
I saw that. Geoff sent me a tweet of that. That looked awesome.
That was good.
Now I want to ask
Listen,
him,
it's a first class operation there.
I bet it is. Tell me about the restaurant you went to.
They brought us down so we could talk about TGL, not where we went afterwards.
We're going to talk about TGL.
Are we? Because we're now at the end of the trip, and you said you were going in chronological order.
Because I was gonna ask you about the DC machines as well. Those sounded awesome. Every golf course should have those.
No,
Every golf course should have DC
You're
dispensers.
now confusing people, and you're no longer in chronological order.
I
So
know.
how do you want to do
You're at a
this?
different golf course now.
Yeah, I know. Okay,
Why don't you file your thoughts and get them back in order here?
Okay. Let's talk about the golf first then before we get to the fun stuff. Okay. So tell me more about the experience of so I played the Sims, I've been in I've done the Sims several times. How is it different from being in a Sim? Like what's the how is the experience like monumentally different than
Well, your
being at a
ball
really
gets
good
like more
track
air,
man?
so your ball like gets flight. But literally, I'll say this: after like a handful of shot, like it's kind of just like feels like you're hitting in a sim again.
Yeah, it feels like you're at the range after a bit. We only got to play the range, and we got to play the Tom Kim hole that he made the ace at. If we had
Okay.
like just played like 15 holes of all the holes that they have played, it would have been different and more fun than your like generic sim because you can see the ball flight. Like there's so many cameras there, and like their version, I forget what it's called. It's not TrackMan, it's something else. Like it's just more accurate than everything.
Does the ground slide based on lies?
Not for us.
But not for you folks.
Yeah.
It did. Okay.
That's coming next year. They can put a lip on the bunker. They get the same sand at Augusta though.
I was going to say, what was it like hitting at the bunker? Was
It was hard.
was there lots of sand in the bunker?
Yes, there was a lot of sand in the bunker, but the hardest thing, Geoff, was the chipping area and the green because it's like turf, but it's not turf. It's like proprietarily
I could
engineered.
understand, yeah, like I could understand how they could get frustrated because the balls, like the exact same chips, would like sometimes react differently. Now I couldn't put like a spin on it like they could. And then reading the greens like with the TV lights
or tough.
is not as like it, but yeah, it's truly like a marvelous little facility they got there, and
putts
it's a
all roll
technological overload.
Yeah, the putts all roll true. You would have really enjoyed the owners' boxes
I'm sure I would have.
that are right next to where everyone walks out. So they change them up every time. So like Arthur Blank is sitting in one, and the Kelseys were there when we were there.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Was.
And you got pretty close to the big cat?
Oh yeah, pretty close to Tiger. That was good. We're pals now.
He was hitting some balls?
No,
He was hitting some chips and putts.
couple
Okay.
chips, couple putts. The place, it wasn't even full yet. If he grabbed a stick and actually went to rip on the sim, the place would have like gone bananas.
Okay.
But no, he was just yucking it up with the Kelseys and his team. It's funny to watch him almost like clean other people's clubs too.
And everyone wants to talk to him.
Oh, of course. Of course you do.
Everyone who's in that bill, like the Kelseys are like, hey, Tiger, how's it going? Tiger really doesn't seem like he wants to talk to anyone, which is hilarious.
But he's got to.
Yeah. Well, he's like part owner of
That's
the
what I
league.
mean. Like, sort of, yeah,
But if he did
obliged.
want to make it like the most viral moment and get people's attention on TGL, he would pick up a 7-iron and hit a ball. I think he's going to play in the Masters. He looked great. This is the best Tiger like in shape has looked in a decade.
I
Do you
wouldn't be
think he'll
shocked.
play in like the TGL finals if they made it? Because that would almost be in a good in a spot where like if you're playing the Masters, you're probably playing this thing.
I would guess that if he was going to play anything before the Masters, it probably would be the TGL playoffs.
Okay.
And there's some there's no way he'll like debut on the Champions Tour before the Masters for scheduling work or.
I don't think so. Why wouldn't he just? I mean, if he's getting himself actually prepped, it's not like that year that Phil went and played the Champions Tour because he was still playing on the and he wasn't hurt.
No.
He wasn't coming back. He was just coming back from being like kind of shitty.
But there's also a major too, right? Wasn't that they didn't Phil play a Champions Major? It was just a regular Champions.
I think it was just a regular event.
Yeah, and I think he ended up playing. No, he never played in any of the Champions Majors.
Not that I remember.
But I think Tiger would be better suited playing the week before at like Valero to get at least PGA Tour style distance, rough, rather than go play on the Champions Tour. If you're going to go play Augusta the next time.
I think he's only got so many bullets to fire. I think it would be smarter just to play TGL.
Well, TGL makes the most. That's why I say TGL makes the most sense. So you
That's
hit
what I
fewer
would do.
shots.
That's what I would do if I were him.
Tim, I will say, like, after like Ludwig, Wyndham, and Minwoo lost, they were up like 3 with 3 to go or something. They had looked like they had seen a ghost. Like in the like, not to say they actually cared, but they looked like they did this like deer in headlights look in the press room after. And the obviously Tiger with Max and Kiz and Tom Kim. It was like they were so happy they just stayed in there like yucking it up for like an extra 10 minutes.
It costs $100,000 to rent that place.
See, I think there should be one in like every city. It would be so cool to have a like any like Toronto should have one. Montreal should have one. New York City should have one.
So you think this is getting rented out for $100,000 a day?
For the same money, they'd build the facility with like 40 bays instead of like one bay because that's it. There's only one. You can't have like multiple groups in there at the same time. So like Pat said, it's only like you have to be like Josh Allen to be able to rent it out for your bachelor party or something.
That's one person.
There's lots of people in major cities who have copious amounts of money who would rent this out.
No, they
I
wouldn't.
disagree.
I highly disagree.
Maybe like a corporate thing and whatever, but there's no, once you've paid, there's no, listen, it is super cool. I don't think you would pay to do it twice if they somehow got you to pay to do it the first time.
And the biggest thing, the thing that they undersell is the amount of tech that's in there.
Oh, I'm sure it's
because
crazy
it's actually
amount.
like the highest state-of-the-art TV production studio is really what it is with the amount of cameras, the amount of lights, the amount of lasers.
Yeah, I believe it.
Think of it like it's almost like what an American Gladiators like studio would have looked like.
But 30 million times more expensive.
Is it super dark in there? It
No.
seems like it's dark.
Well,
on
it would
TV.
be
There's so
when
many
the lights
lights
are off, but there's
for
so
the TV show.
Yeah, it's a TV studio. So think about how bright this room gets when all of the lights are on and how like pitch black it is when there's nothing on. So it's very much the same thing. It's almost overlit in a sense to make sure. I will say, and Geoff pointed this
Pat
out.
can credit me for hitting his great shot in the closest to the pin contest because just before I had trouble too.
We know. We saw
my
it.
own troubles, but
saw
I
it.
let Pat know. I think he was hitting a ladies' club.
I was. There was
So
two
we
sets of
switched it up,
clubs.
and he put it 2 feet to the pin.
There was two sets of Callaways there, and I picked one up, and I was like, all right, this club's like pretty light. I just started shanking everything. I was like, oh no. It's like, I'm going to get my one shot. And Jeff's like, I think you have a ladies' club in your hand. I was like, it is really light and flexible.
There you go.
So I went and got the men's club, and boom. It's crisp.
It's a great shot.
But yeah, no, like Tim, it's an incredible operation. And you only asked about the pasta, but there was great pizza.
I
There
wanted
were
to ask
these
about more, but I
garlic
got
knots
yelled
the
at.
size of baseballs that were delicious.
Oh, that sounds so good.
I
want to ask you about your golf
And then,
deck.
you know, as I've showed you before, they had World Cup insignia Coke Zeros.
And that's
so
how you know
those were
it's
fresh.
so fresh because they aren't even out here yet. So you know those are like coming off of the assembly line in Orlando yesterday. Fresh.
Geoff made this point while we were there that there is no better ROI because sometimes like if you hire someone to come like hang with you for the weekend, like the MTV influencers used to do this a lot. Like you pay the situation $10,000 to show up for your bar for a night, and he would show up and try to get people in the door. And like, yes, this is what they do for a living.
Really?
This is what influencers do too.
I don't quite understand. I thought influencers just like were online and like hawked products.
Well, they
on
have
TikTok.
to go to places to hawk the products. Like there was, maybe that's another point. There's a lot of like other influencer, like golf influencers there.
Goodness, I know.
Okay.
I know the type you're talking about.
So I was talking to someone who worked at TGL who was like a collegiate golfer.
Okay.
And like I was watching these influencers. They're all fucking terrible. Like they're really bad at golf. And they said the
It's
same
okay
thing.
for me to be bad at golf because I'm just giving golf picks, but these people try to hawk like gear and
Clubs.
So
equipment.
they're essentially Milos.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
who they are.
They'd be like, And if we got you a
Some were
brand
pretty
deal,
good too.
there was like one or two guys who could really rip it. Most of the people there, Jeff, were really bad.
Yeah, if you're
Whatever,
going to be
they're
a
good
golf
at
influencer, you better not be like a
Golf
14
is
handicap.
but the thing is, golf is like a lifestyle. You don't have to be like amazing at it, I guess, to be like it's a lifestyle.
I do, but that's not what they're doing though. They're like, I watched one person film the same shot maybe 60 times until they finally got one
that's how you
somewhat
gotta-
close. They were just blading it everywhere every time. It's like, the fuck is this?
That would annoy me so much.
It was pretty, and just like I couldn't go hit a shot because they had to keep filming. It's like, calm the fuck down, all right?
These are the worst people.
Tim, their locker room was incredible too.
In what way?
Like where the players are hanging.
Tell me
when
about
they're
it.
not in the studio. Well, it's like a full like kitchenette,
Oh, man.
and then there's like it's pretty much like a high end simulator lounge. Where is their locker room? Because it's got like 5 or 6 simmy bays too, like your local sim lounge, and like a full kitchenette, and then this room with like all of the, therma or body wraps or relaxing lights. Like it's a first class
Okay.
operation through and through. It's the second time I'd been through there. I'm impressed every single time.
Now tell me about your
No,
actual round.
I didn't get to finish my point yet about the
sorry.
ROI on high. Like, so there's one thing: the influencers are there. They obviously paid the Kelseys a bunch of money to come. Jeff, did you?
Well,
get,
those kitchen remodelings aren't free.
No, they aren't. But if you hire Jason Kelsey, Jeff, you get your money's worth.
Pat had like been gone for hours. This guy, I'm not even talking about the TV work. He is doing like, there's like in commercial hyping up the in-stadium crowd work. I couldn't believe it. Now, like, there's a conversation to be had about like Jason Kelsey and his overexposure. But when you pay the Jason Kelsey rate, holy shit, he gives you 125%. And then after the night, as we were making our way out of the building, the Kelseys, I guess, were having their own little private party with them and their friends in the semi session.
Well, that's why we got bumped to the next day. We were supposed to do it. You're holding it like the fucking Price is Right again.
Sorry.
You've really been. We had to change mics once already, and now you're trying to break this one too.
Tim, they also
so
have
out of practice.
This is very common in press rooms, but everything you like everything. There's like huge, like 2 things of like Halloween candy for you to pick through if you
man.
want.
Yeah,
I
there
would have
was.
loved that.
I took some Sour Patch Kids with me.
You got free food when we went back to the hotel. I was extremely jealous about that.
So did Jeff.
Oh, that's so
It
awesome.
was nice. They hooked us up because I was. Here's a quick tip about Jupiter, Florida, and Palm Beach. When you go back at like 10 p.m. and you're absolutely starving, and like when you travel, you only eat the worst foods.
Yes.
And you feel like crap. I was trying all day not to like eat anything really bad because I knew I had to go back and film the next day. I wanted to get to bed. So I opened up Uber Eats because I got back at like 10:03 and the kitchen closed at 10. I mean, it's a lot of old people in Palm Beach.
Of course.
The stuff isn't open
But
super
even
late.
the fast food, Tim, the fast food in like Palm Beach closes earlier than in other places. Like the lights go off earlier in Palm Beach than most places.
But so I opened up Uber Eats and I couldn't find a single non-fried piece of food.
Oh, that doesn't shock
I was just like, just give me, I'll take Subway at this point. But no, Subway was not open.
me. Oh my goodness.
So they were like, I couldn't even get a sandwich. It was like, and then I walked into my room and they had like jerky and some truffle popcorn infused
Here,
popcorn.
Tim, do you
It
have
was
your
like,
phone?
perfect.
I'm going to send you a picture right now of what was in the room.
Oh, well, Pat
I already sent it to him.
Sent me a photo of what
okay,
he had.
yeah.
Of what he had.
It's the
So
same thing. I'm guessing it's the same
It was
thing.
like a flute of food.
I know.
It was
I
really
know.
nice.
Tell me, about,
TGL, top-notch experience.
tell me about your actual golfing event now.
It was tough, but they did have, like I said, soda dispensers like every 3-4 holes, Jeff?
There was probably like at the turns and like one out there. So like multiple fountain pop machines, Tim. I've seen this in America at a couple nice clubs. I've never seen it anywhere at home. Now, maybe people be like, you've never been to the National? I haven't. I don't even know if they have them there. I have never seen like where we just have like water tanks, like just
Why not?
fountain pop.
I would guarantee you this doesn't exist outside of America.
But
anywhere.
why?
Because no one fucking wants us outside except for Americans.
I don't agree.
And you.
I don't agree.
If you lived in that community, you would walk up there every single morning. You would go out of your way 20 minutes to walk up there or drive up there, fill up multiple things of Diet Coke to bring home with you. I know what you're like.
Paid an initiation fee to be a member at this place. His determination. I'm not talking about his yearly dues or his monthly dues. I'm talking about getting whole on the initiation fee via Diet Cokes.
And you told me
if he's at home, he's going to walk 15 minutes to like the 9th to the 10th tee to get to that machine. If Tim is in like the dining area eating his lunch, he's going to be like, I'm not ordering a DC from you. I'm just going to walk 300 yards and go get a free one. Like, he would bastardize the shit out of that thing. But for Tim, I did, take a little, filled up a little half cup for the road.
How good was it? How good was it?
Oh, this is what I had to tell Tim. And credit, we'll give our guest Adam lots of props. And I just, a lot of beautiful things about the club. More impressive than the machine itself was the 10 of 10 flavor profile of the DC. You think I'm at some, this isn't how monitored are these pipes? I don't know whether I was just getting, they had just been refilled, but you think you would not get 10 of 10, 7-Eleven fountain flavor profile? Unbelievable.
Amazing.
Unbelievable.
This needs to be at every golf course.
The flavor profiles
needs to be
fully on point.
If you're at if you're at a really rundown muni, I get that. Anywhere that's a club that has members that are paying dues need to have these dispensers, 3 or 4 around the course. Need it. Gotta have it.
Never a chance on earth this would show up at my club. I don't
Why not?
think the members would want.
Really? You don't think the members would want it, Jeff?
No, they wouldn't. Also, it's a good time to remind people that if they want to get to picks, there are time codes in this episode.
We gave them some picks already. And I really don't like Brooks this week. I don't. I think Brooks is terrible. If Smotherman plays, he's got no chance. If Rory plays, he's got no chance.
If you're golfing
you want some
with
picks?
Tim
I'm giving you
a
some
cart,
picks.
There's 2 cup holders per person.
They're mine.
Would, need one of your cup holders for his extra DCs.
Well, it depends how many stations there were, right? If you're telling me every 3 or 4 holes I'm going to run into a station.
No, not that. They're out there though. When you're
there was 4. There were 4 on the one course we were at.
We have a club where there's the turn and there's a little hut on both the front and back 9. There's no reason why each of the little huts couldn't have a soda dispenser. People would love that.
You would love it.
It wouldn't be that expensive. And if you know what, if it meant $100 more a year in dues, I'll pay $100 more.
Would you now?
Yes, I would.
Would you?
Yeah, I would, to get unlimited.
You know what I would do? I would pay $100 more. Hell, I'd pay $1,000 more to kick 50 people out so there were more tee times.
Well,
that's where I prefer my money go to.
It's a separate point.
No, but the money can. There's only so much money to go around. I would prefer to open up the tee sheet rather than have a fucking Diet Coke machine on hole number 4.
Oh my God,
Tim,
I want that.
I asked our host if this is just this has to be the old, the old money. They're just so committed to their Diet Coke, they wouldn't let this, they'll never lose it. And he's like, no, young people, I see. He's like, no, young people fill her up too. I guess it'd be good for booze. Little mixers, I guess, but I don't.
It would be.
I could not see that flying. I would if that was brought up. I feel like it. Whoever does that sort of thing in my club, they would just like laugh and be like, next.
Yeah, but
that doesn't mean I don't think it's awesome. I'm just saying I don't think there would be any sort of like, man, there would just be no people to want that.
Unless instead of DC it was like Verner's, then it would have like 80%
Verner's
popularity.
fountain at my place would probably put.
You actually just touched on what the main reason would be why you couldn't have this at most places. Because the place where we were at, I'd say the average age was, I don't know, 68. People aren't just getting strung up on the course the entire time.
No.
But the moment you said, that Jeff said, you can put it in booze, Jared was like, what? That's all that would happen, especially in Canada, because people go out and get annihilated on the course. This would only encourage that.
I don't think it would encourage
and-
or discourage it. It would just people.
Really, if people, you know what it would encourage? People not to buy drinks at the course because people would bring their own liquor.
You're not allowed
and
to
then-
bring your own liquor.
Oh,
Not allowed
what do you think we do on every single one of our fucking golf trips, Tim? When was the last time you bought liquor at the course?
I buy liquor at the course.
Do
I
ya?
bought that bucket of beers.
When we went last year? How many cans of beer did you buy on the course?
A couple.
None.
That's not true. Not true.
Did
I
you
brought
bring
a
them
couple.
with you?
I brought.
Oh, but that's against the rules. How could anyone do that?
I bought some at the course. Some of the tall boys.
You were the only one then, because
I'll
everyone else
say
brought
this,
their
like
booze
the
with
pro
them.
shops
no, because you
sell,
can get crafties.
the
in
pro
some places
shop
you can't get
sells
elsewhere.
flasks. So do they like even though there's like no booze, like I get like I'm like you're not supposed to bring your own booze. They also sell you a flask with their club logo on it. So I think it's like if you want booze, buy booze. But he did mention that, to Pat's point, that because it's free there, like anyone at the pool, like the people at the pool, like don't want to pay for a drink, they'll just go walk to the free fountain.
It's okay.
I mean, they
Yeah, how
paid.
can you blame them? There's a free fountain 20 feet that way.
Yeah, who wouldn't?
I don't. I can't imagine what the annual dues are at that place or what the initiation is. It probably comes with
Significant.
There's a community around it too. Sometimes if you just own a home, I'm sure that you pay
Like
like
our
an
golf
annual
club.
due. Is that?
Like our golf club.
No.
There's
No.
a community built around it where
Yes.
people bought memberships based on their.
That's not. This is not the same.
No, I know.
Whatsoever. Jeff and I were having a struggle on the golf course.
Because
I had a really tough time. I could like give you a whole bag of excuses, but no, it was just horrible. I hadn't played in a while, but since this fall, but who cares? Like I even had a little TGL warm up, which didn't go great. Tim, I said out there, I think Fienberg water balls versus Dead Iranian Generals. Like who you got? The trading team is reviewing it. It's close. It's close. It was a disaster. I've played with Pat in the first thing in the morning off a deep night in Vegas, and I left that wanting to buy the clubs I used. And today I couldn't hit a ball, so it was I'm not ready for the season to start, but it's
How is his
getting
cart
warmer,
driving?
and I gotta give myself a kick in the ass.
He rode with Adam and I drove a cart.
Okay.
So he wasn't driving. Although, Jeff, it took me a while to get going in the round, probably till midway through the back nine to
Sure.
get comfortable just with my swing and my clubs.
Yep.
But the moment that happened, Jeff, people need to be on alert this year with my driver.
Yeah, listen, I say every time I play with Pat, it's like I've seen it. It's a shame when when it doesn't click in till as late as it clicked in, because it's like an air show when you click in early. And
I think you're going to break par one round this year.
I hope so.
I think that's going to happen. I don't know when, but I think you're going to have a 71 in you this year.
If I drive the ball like I did the final five, like I drove a par four,
Yeah,
I was carrying it back
you got it right to the
neck.
Yeah, I think you're going to break. I think you're going to break par at least once this year.
You know what?
Assuming everything goes well.
Tim, Pat drove one that impressed me so much, I even forgot to tee off.
He did. He forgot to tee off.
He got out to the ball. I was like,
I
I usually hit 100 yards behind. Oh shit! I forgot to play. I forgot to play. I was
just drop up where he is. Just drop up where he is.
Yeah, well, a little bit of skis in you, and you're just enjoying conversation. I was putting so much air in the tires of that drive, not that it needed any air, that I think we got out there and realized I forgot to hit. So that's how impressed I was with that drive.
So fast. They're so fast.
Really fast?
I had no. Even by the end, I was like, I just don't know what I'm
Or were
doing.
they fair, or there were a ton of false fronts that
No, they were so fast.
Well, fast is fine if it's true.
No, it's not when you're not used to you've never played on greens this fast, is what I would say.
Probably not. No.
So it's hard when it's the.
Although Brunello greens are
No,
are
this is-
PGA Tour fast.
They are not PGA Tour fast. I mean, I play Brunello more than you do. It's not. It's not even. It was nowhere close to this.
Okay.
And this was not as fast as these ones run. Apparently.
No, fair enough.
So
Okay.
it's an adjustment when you're not used to greens being that fast, is what I would say. You might blow it 30 feet by.
Okay.
And there's a lot, especially with Florida golf that I've played over the years, there's so much with the grain. Like if the grain is dark or the grain is soft, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing out here.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
It was a ton of fun. So big thanks to Adam. Before we get to the full players picks breakdown, I think we got time for a mini version of Cust Corner.
He's the most insane Tim Too Rich, Coke fanboy impressionist, a murderer, a fast food lover, a nuts fan who'll curse your mother, self-proclaimed man of the most. He wants his credit, he needs to boast. Doctor, Top Gun, hipster too, whatever you call him, that's up to you. He's got a corner and it's Cust. Let's hear the hot takes and discuss.
Why don't you tell Geoff about your golf ball?
Oh, okay. So, all right. I have this idea, and it came to me while we were playing Sims. I think it's a good idea. If they built it out, it would be expensive. You're talking like $20 a ball. I think it would be awesome if you had a golf ball that had camera inside of it and was like relatively clear, and it hooked up to an app on your phone. And when you hit the ball, you could watch from the ball's perspective your shot as to where it went on the camera. And like, the worse you are, the more you want it. Because like, if you're like me and you hit it way offline, like I'll know exactly where my golf ball is because I just go to my phone, I click a button. Oh, that's where my ball landed. Or if it's in the water, well, at least I know where it is. And I want it to be like polyurethane so it doesn't get waterlogged so I can claim it back at the end of the year because it would have like a microchip in it so you know it would be mine. I think if the camera was able to shoot through the little dimples of the golf ball and stabilize itself, that you could have a ball's perspective of a golf shot in your ball, and then you just have an application on your phone that you click the button and you can see from the ball's perspective the trajectory it took. It would be awesome.
So you want like what Happy Gilmore hit his neighbors with?
Yeah, you want that camera shot is what
That
you
camera,
want.
that's
I want
the
the
shot you
ball's
want.
perspective.
The simulator kind of gives you all of that information that you're looking for. Once you're out on the course, like, what are you doing?
I want to see the ball's flight.
Why do you want to
where
see
it's
the ball's? Okay, question.
And wouldn't this like ruin the ball? Like the ball
Yes.
into
No.
a golfer, like every quarter, like any weight or anything distorts, the give and take of putting something in or out of a golf ball.
So I have questions. How does the camera stabilize within the golf ball when you're hitting it at 5,000 rotations a minute?
It's just held in, I'm not an engineer, but it's like held inside the ball. And because it's relatively clear, the camera can just show from any perspective depending on its rotation.
But how does it shoot out of the golf ball?
I mean, how does it shoot out?
Well,
of the
golf balls are, if
You know, like in your
inside the sphere.
Corolla, when you hit reverse, there's like a camera.
Yes.
yeah,
That
that
how
camera's
do you
on the
shoot
outside
it?
of the car.
Well, this
is
would
the
be-
camera on the outside of the golf
No,
ball?
it's on the inside
Then
of
how
the
does it
golf
shoot out so you can see
Because
anything?
the golf ball is clear.
How do you hit this golf ball? Okay, have you ever seen the inside of a golf ball?
Yeah, it's got like
Do you
that dark core
Yeah,
in
do you
it.
know how it goes far? Is the core of the fucking golf
Well, this
ball.
could be made out of the same stuff as the core.
the camera.
It could just be a little tiny camera, and it's made out of the same similar stuff the core is made of. It's not a very big. We're not talking about one of
Wait,
those
where
old
was the
tiny
German-
cameras.
why did
A little
you want
tiny
this? Like,
camera
what-
that goes right in the middle.
You think that this is going to cost $20 a ball?
That's
It's
what
going
it
to
should
cost like
sell-
$5,000.
No,
How
no,
much do you think
no.
a micro
It
size?
doesn't have to be high definition. It can be regular definition.
That's not the
You
issue
want
that
like
I'm
a
talking
drone
about
golf
here.
ball?
Like, you don't seem to understand. It could just be
The
a-
quality of the lens on the camera is not so much my issue. It's the miniaturization of this apparently stabilized camera
Yeah.
in the middle of a golf ball.
And it
that is also, so it's a camera that's this big.
Yeah, and it shoots from every perspective. So
And
is
then
the
when
ball.
Pat has a
from
swing
every-
speed of like
So that's how
100
you do it with the
and whatever,
revolutions.
it's gonna just stay stable.
Yes, and it keeps and it like it has so many frames per second that like every revolution it takes a shot. So it look like if you ever did one of those sketchbooks,
ten
where-
thousand-
Why did you want this?
Yeah,
Like,
why
what was
would
the
anyone
journey?
want this?
because then you could see the trajectory of your ball from the ball's perspective. And if you lost your ball, you know exactly where it landed because, and I hate losing golf balls.
Then why
I
does it need to be a
hate
camera?
losing
Why
golf
can't you
balls.
just have some sort of microchip in the ball?
No,
that tells
I
you where
want
it's
a
at?
camera so I can
What?
see exactly where it went. And then
So
people-
you think you're savvy enough?
and people are always saying, "Oh, that's a good drive. You must have hit a yardage marker, and that's why it bounced that way." Well, you know how I could prove I didn't? Because I'd have a camera
that what
in the
all
ball.
this is about?
Not only that, but that's part of the reason. That's part of the reason. I hit a really good drive once, and it went past a friend of ours, and he said, "Oh, well, that's just because you hit a stone yardage marker in the middle of the fairway. That's why it went so far." And it didn't hit that, okay? And this would give me proof that didn't happen, because I could go to the camera and say, "Look, that hit grass, pal. I just outdrove you. Sorry you used your 3-wood."
So you want to buy a $5,000 golf ball? Invent a $5,000
This
golf
is just
ball.
one of the myriad of uses it would be for.
Okay, here's the other biggest issue with this, because there are golf balls with cameras inside them already.
That doesn't surprise me.
They are used to get the impact of usually a driver or the club face from the inside of the ball, so they can see where you're hitting the ball.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
You know what happens to them after 2 hits? They break.
Well,
And then you need more of them.
these need to be made of better quality.
So we're going to increase the price of these now.
No, we're not
So
gonna
we're going to have a five-figure to six-figure golf ball?
No, it's not going to have to be that expensive.
Why doesn't it have to be that you're developing technology that doesn't exist for
Well,
this?
you just said it does exist.
Not for your purposes, because it doesn't shoot outside the fucking dimples.
It can shoot out if it's clear.
Why? This golf ball isn't going to go anywhere. If you take away its core and put something in it, it doesn't go as far.
Obviously, leave it to the engineers to figure that out.
Well, I can tell you this. I'm not an engineer, although we do know engineers, so we can ask their perspective on this too. When you remove the core that makes the ball go super far with a camera, it's not going to go super far.
Okay, hear me out. Why doesn't each course just have staff members at each hole operating drones that take footage?
No, I don't like that. I don't like the idea of other people watching me hit.
Oh, what if
But what if your shots get hacked and the whole world can see your shitty ball flight?
Question for you. You're holding the mic again that way. Okay. What if I told you the Dolphins re-signed Micah Fitzpatrick to a 3-year, $40 million deal?
I'd say fantastic.
What if I said he got traded to the Jets and the Jets signed him to that deal?
Be very unhappy.
Well, that's what happened.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, the thing about Micah Fitzpatrick is that he is a first round.
Oh, wow. Now he's good all of a sudden.
No.
That was a quick 180.
But look, we have a lot of money. We have like the third highest amount of cap in the NFL. And so we're not going to spend it all. And we have desperate needs at secondary. And he has been a good player in the past. And maybe since we have a head coach whose superpower is calling plays, maybe he could, I don't know. I guess it could work. What?
You're holding the mic by the cord again.
I'm not.
You're holding it. That thing at the bottom is not a part of the microphone.
Here.
Yeah, the microphone part is the part you're supposed to hold. You just went back to doing it. Again, you can hit the time codes and jump to the golf. I promise it's coming.
I'm sorry. I can't believe it was by them.
Pat, who did I see do that exact same technique?
Can't hear him very well.
I saw Bill Maher ask Adam Schiff a question about a quote. He insulted it. Then Bill Maher was like, "Oh, that was an Obama quote. I got you." You just did that to Tim. That was amazing.
Well, I knew if I told him that the Jets traded for him and signed him, it would be all, you're holding it.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm trying. I'm now not.
When we return, the Players' Championship picks, bets, and one and done. Stay tuned. Look, I'll be straight with you. We talk all the time about getting better at work, sports, in life, whatever it might be. But most guys ignore the one thing that actually drives all of it: your head. Therapy isn't a weakness, it's a tool. I've seen it help guys deal with work stress, family stuff, breakups, addictions, whatever it might be. Just getting unstuck when everything feels heavy. The problem? It's usually a pain to get started. Long wait list, huge cost, total hassle, you know the deal. That's why Rula is different. Rula makes therapy simple, affordable, and fast. They work with most major insurance plans, and sessions can cost as little as $15. You answer a few quick questions, they match you with a licensed vetted therapist that actually fits what you need, and you can be talking to someone as soon as the next day. No weeks of waiting, no guessing if you pick the right person. If you've been putting this off, stop! Go to Rula.com/Mayo and get started today. That's RULA.com/Mayo. Once again, that's Rula.com/Mayo. Take the first step. Take control of your mental health. So there is about to be a new development in the Mayo household. As many of you know, a new baby is arriving soon. In fact, it may already be here by the time that you're listening to it. That's how close we are. Which meant suddenly I was looking around my house and realizing that I am wildly unprepared for an extra human being to be living here. And honestly, Wayfair has been a lifesaver. When you're getting ready for a baby, you realize that you need everything. New bedding, storage, furniture, things to organize the nursery, things to organize literally every other room in the house because it's about to get taken over by baby stuff. The other kids, they hate this. Wayfair makes it ridiculously easy because it's basically a one-stop shop. We grabbed new storage solutions, some nursery pieces, and even some refreshed parts of the living room so it doesn't look like a tornado of baby gear just exploded everywhere. The best part is you can find stuff that actually looks good without spending a fortune. If you're getting your home ready for a new season or a new baby, Wayfair has everything you need. Get organized, refreshed, and back on track for way less. Head to wayfair.com right now to shop all things home. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair. Every style, every home. If you're like me, you love coffee, but sometimes coffee doesn't love you back. One too many cups, and suddenly you're jittery, your brain's moving at a million miles a minute, and you're wondering why you drank it in the first place. That's why I started trying Mudwater's new low-calf coffee blend. It actually tastes like real coffee, made with organic Arabica beans, but it's only got 45 milligrams of caffeine, plus things like L-theanine and functional mushrooms like lion's mane and cordyceps. So you still get that focus and energy without all the jitters or the crash late in the day. They also have an original blend, which is more of a coffee alternative with cacao, chai, turmeric, and mushrooms if you want something even lighter. Everything is organic, non-GMO, vegan, gluten-free, no sugar added, and honestly, it's just a smoother way to start the day without feeling wired. If you want to try it out, head to mudwater.com and grab a starter kit. Right now, listeners get up to 43% off your order, free shipping, and a free rechargeable frother when you use code MAYO. That's MUDWTR.com, code MAYO for up to 43% off. And when they ask how you heard about them, make sure you tell them the Pat Mayo Experience sent you. Okay, we're back. But before we get to the players' picks, tell Geoff your idea that you just had during our break.
Well, it's just another golf ball centric idea would be like, Geoff remembers this. The younger guys don't quite remember this. Do you remember when Fox had hockey and the puck would glow?
I want that back.
So I thought it would be cool for golf if there was some way, and I don't know how you would do it, if it could if your ball could emit a glow. And then when you hit it, it'd be easier to pick it up because it would be glowing blue.
Just play one of those orange, yellow balls. Now they make the rainbow. Callaway makes the rainbow.
Yeah, but sometimes that can be hard to pick up in the air.
Yeah, what Cust wants is Shot Tracer, but for real life.
Yeah, it would be cool if I liked yesterday on the broadcast, when people hit drives, it went green if it was going to the fairway, or went red if it was going offline. If you could I know you wouldn't be able to do that particular thing because you'd have to. The balls can't know what course you're at. Although your phone knows GPS wise, so maybe your ball.
You basically just want to live in the Matrix.
But it would be really cool if when you hit your golf ball, there was a light streak that would be emitted from it, so that you know.
I just paid $2,000 for a dozen balls with cameras in them, and now you're telling me I need a new one?
Well, you could maybe put this in there as well. I don't know.
Your ideas are. They're for a world that you want, not that the world that you're in.
Yeah, the cameras he talked about inside these golf balls are what R&D American military research is doing for drones. These cost a lot of money.
Well, but the more you produce them, the less expensive it gets. The internet was
signal flare coming from your golf ball.
It'd be cool if you could hit your ball and it emitted a glow. Sort of.
Like in a video game.
I think that would be convenient. I liked it for hockey, so
you know what happened in real life when they were playing hockey? Those streaks didn't exist.
No, I know that.
Do you? Because
yes.
it seems like you don't know that.
You don't.
I do know that,
but
because they would have.
There's
both
a disconnect
broadcasts.
here. If you know that, then there's a disconnect here.
But it would be cool if you could make that real. I think it would be helpful. People would like that.
I have a hard time watching hockey. That puck I'm older now. The eyes are worse. I'd appreciate a little trail. I'm not kidding.
Yeah. It was a good idea.
Players Championship. We're here. We're at Sawgrass. You hate Sawgrass.
I don't like the course. If it was to become a major, the concession would have to be that it can't always be played at Sawgrass.
Who wants to tell him, Pat?
It has to be played at other courses, not just Sawgrass.
They put a lot of money into
I appreciate
decking
that.
out this course.
It could be an anchor course for it, but it can't be the only place it's played.
The best part about Sawgrass now is that they have rigged it up. That is easily the best TV experience of any golf tournament.
No,
all
but
year.
it's not really a golf course.
Explain that, please.
Like it's
Why is
it's
it
a gimmick.
It's a gimmick. What's your take? Gimmick course?
It is a gimmick course. Everything right down to the 17th
Target
hole.
golf, stadium golf, like why? Because
All of
all
it.
stadium courses are gimmicks. Why?
I don't like Pete Dye courses to begin with because they're kind of goofy. And like this one is like the goofiest imaginable with an island green and with water here and like sand here. And just the way it's built, like the holes are weird. I don't particularly like.
You said
this golf.
water here, sand here. I'm not like
Like
listen,
the way the
I'm
holes
bad
are set up.
explaining things, but I don't know what you're saying.
Like just the design of the golf holes, just like you don't have, it discourages you from hitting driver a lot. And I don't know. It's just, to me, it's gimmicky and strange. And like this event's almost more about the course than it is about the players. And I don't particularly like that. I've never loved this tournament. I don't get excited for this tournament. It's fine. I understand the purse is huge and that's why people love it, but it used to have the best field in golf before they stopped letting many of the best players play in it.
Why would they let players from the Live
No,
Tour
I understand.
play in the PGA's flagship event?
So that they could actually continue to contend. It has the best, field in golf, which now it's seeded over to like the PGA Championship, which
Yeah, I think
now
it is.
does have the best.
I think
field.
it's the PGA Championship. Yeah, because it's still stronger than the Masters. It's still
Sure.
stronger than the U.S. Open, and because those are opens.
Yeah.
And the Masters only has 80 guys, and 15 of them are 90 years old.
Exactly.
So it's now the
I
second best.
actually, well, not like fully on Tim's side, although I will never ever consider it a major. To the course, I don't like calling it a gimmick course, but I don't care much for the course while acknowledging it looks so beautiful.
It's made for TV.
Don't they dye the water like at Augusta?
Well, that was always the rumor. Yes, but I think that they do. Yes.
Which again, fine. You're welcome to do that. It's your course, but it's like the problem with it being a major is that like being a major is not an actual thing. Like there's no one who actually has a control. We just all agree that there are 4 majors, but there's no like law written down that it must be 4 and 4 only. And so like if the PGA just starts saying it's a major or counting it as a major, and if you cover the PGA Tour in a professional way, get in line because it's what we're doing, then they can just assert it.
But
I don't like it. I don't think it should be done.
It's never going to be a major.
But if the
It's gonna
PGA
be
Tour
locked
decides that
in
it should be,
eternity. Then like that's the problem. If they do that, if they force it, then it's going to allow for it to be mocked. Although, like obviously, they paid Brandel a bag to start his campaign early. It just doesn't work like that. You can't, like you said, if there's no official assertion, well, guess what? The smartest guy in a room really never has to tell anyone he's the smartest guy in the room. The funniest guy in the room never has to let you know they're the funniest guy in the room. They just are. And if you have to tell us you're the funniest guy in the room, well, guess what? You ain't the funniest guy in the room.
but if they get,
And that's what they're going to attempt to do.
I think it's easier, unfortunately, than you think. If you just get the RNA and the USGA and the PGA of America to all agree, we're counting this as a major as well, and you accredit it as a major, and guys like Tiger and Rory, and to a lesser degree Scotty, say, yeah, it's a major championship now. It is. And like we might mock it, but 25 years from now, people who didn't go through this process have just been watching golf starting like next year because they're like 14, will just consider it a major like Augusta. It just will happen. Like that's how these things work, is that you just start asserting it and then it happens.
Let's get to the top of the board. Sawgrass is over 7,200 yards. It's very difficult. You can get some low scores, the conditions play, but you can also blow up. You're going to see a wide spectrum of scores by the end of the week where someone's going to be at minus 15, someone's going to be at 15 over. Just the nature of the beast here.
Playing it in March has been better for this tournament in terms of producing major quality winners.
Well,
you don't get a Siwoo Kim winning in March.
I mean,
you don't get.
Siwoo Kim might win this year. So
What I'm saying is you would get weird fluky winners like Adam Scott when he's like 6 or 17 winning the that doesn't happen now. Being played in March for whatever reason has made this course a little less luck dependent.
The only non-major champion to win since the move to March was Cam Smith, and then he won the Open later that year.
That's right.
So He too is a major champion. So it's been Rory twice, Scotty twice, JT, and Cameron Smith as your champions. Obviously, no tournament in 2020 because it was canceled. Although Hideki, if he wins, he ended up being a major champion himself.
So yeah, exactly.
But to take a look at the top of the board, we got Scotty at 4-1 right now. Rory, with the back injury, has fallen from 8-1 to 12-1. Morikawa is 22. Fleetwood is 24. Xander is 24. Ludwig is 27. That is the entire grouping of players below or at 30-1. If you want the best numbers and the fastest payouts, and you happen to live in Canada, outside of Ontario, coolbet.com is where you need to go to if you want a bonus. Hit the description. Sports 200 for that $200 bonus is where you're looking at coolbet.com. Honestly, Geoff, of all of these guys, I know that you bet Ludwig, but you got the better number than the 27 or 30. It's Morikawa with a bullet here, but I don't know if I want to do 22-1.
It's the only guy, and I'm looking at it slightly higher. I almost bet him last week. Every one that I was like swimming around last week, like played great, for the most part. And he was the first thought I had last week and didn't make it. And he's just doing everything right now. And it seems like he's set up perfectly to walk through that door if those two guys at the top aren't, going to have their A games. And what shocked me the most about Morikawa is to see the driving, like the distance. I never thought he was there, but in the field, relative to the field, it seems like he's much better at it than I thought, or the speed gains that he's made are starting to show.
The Scotty conundrum is interesting because there's no way I can back him at 4-1 with the way that he's playing right now. It just is.
What would his number have to be for you to say, 8-1? Would you be on board?
Yeah, I would be. If Scotty was 8-1, I would bet Scotty at 8-1. Okay. I absolutely would.
Is that the threshold?
I don't know if that's I think it's tournament dependent, and obviously he's won here twice before. He has weirdly his game, if he was hitting his irons well, is setting up perfectly for Sawgrass this year because he's gaining so much off the tee. He's the longest, straightest guy out there except for Michael Brennan.
My question would be, and maybe you guys can both answer this, why is it that since March, only the elite and super elite are winning this tournament? Is there a reason why only those guys in the huge field are winning it? For a course that historically, because of the flukiness of the course and the weirdness of the course, you'd think would produce just a cavalcade of unusual winners. Why has it been since the March 2019 shift that the very top of the board are the only place you find the winners? Why is that?
Well, it's not so. Yes, you've found winners at the top of the board. It's generally been 33-1 and under. I think Cam Smith and Justin Thomas were the two longest ones.
And Cam Smith's, yes, he won, but he won on a Wednesday. I almost got to throw Cam Smith's out. Not that he didn't win it, but that wasn't a normal tournament in any way, shape, or form. I don't think there's anything to be learned from much of that.
But I think when we look back on it, that I think you're thinking of way too many outliers having won this tournament even in May. It was mainly major champions who won then too. Like Webb Simpson won in 2018, major champion. Siwoo is a real outlier. That's why he won at 300-1. And he played nails that week. And that was a really, really difficult year at the Players. It was just weird weather, and he ended up winning by 3 over Poulter and Louis. But day one, Ricky got his over Sergio.
Mm-hmm.
Keimer's a major champion. Tiger's a major champion. Kuchar's not. KJ Choi's not. Tim Clark is not. He had that weird run from 2010 to 2012. But Stenson, Sergio, Phil, Stephen Ames, Canada's own Stephen Ames, Fred Funk, Adam Scott, Davis Love, Tiger Woods, David Duval, Justin Leonard. There's been 5 non-major winners of the past 25 years who've won. That's
Matt Kuchar.
Yeah. But that's no different than the U.S. Open or anywhere else. You put all the best guys in a tournament at a hard course, generally speaking, the best guys win.
Okay.
As you read those names off, it doesn't seem like it's almost like the guys that were the tier, in the 2 or 3, the first or second tier after the best players.
Correct. And one of the differences I would say that the course has played a little bit harder sometimes. Scotty won by a stroke at -20 2 years ago, and it played really easy that year. There was very little wind. But there's more of an emphasis, I don't want to say on distance in particular, that you have to be the longest guy in the field, but because it's a little bit colder, it's not as burnt out, that carry distance goes a little bit more, that if you are an elite driver who can get that extra carry distance and hit fairways, Rory actually barely hit fairways last year. He was just so good out of the pine straw and rough that it's not like it was before where kind of anyone off the tee could kind of win.
Driver, at least before, and I can't speak to now, but before in May, it wasn't the club that people hit at Augusta or at Sawgrass in May.
It's still
it was a 3-wood course, not a driver course.
So it's still mixed by and large. But even looking at the numbers on the rabbit hole, and again, code Sawgrass gets you the rabbit hole for $1 this week. Go to betspertsgolf.com, check it all out. That the last 2 years, driver usage is up right around like 60 to 65% from 50 to 49%.
And how does that gauge compared
they got
to a
the mini
normal
now.
major tournament? Like, what is Augusta's driver rate? What is the
Augusta's
US
driver?
Open?
Well, Augusta, you don't go less than driver at
Okay,
Augusta.
but like at a U.S. Open or an Open Championship or a PGA, is like 65% around what you would see?
65% is tour average. But the Open is going to be course dependent because a ton of
And
guys.
weather dependent.
Yeah, like a ton of guys just aren't going to hit driver. But how many guys do you see at the U.S. Open not take a driver off the tee, especially now?
That's true.
Even at Pebble Beach.
Yeah, no, that's true.
And how,
So-
other than Siwoo, like and at the time it was an outlier, but like how many like historical outliers were actually even on the list? Pat read.
Adam Scott was a big outlier when he won because he was like, I said,
Okay, but like
teenager.
then history proved that it wasn't.
Yeah, it turns out that even when
Sure.
Sergio won when he was like 22, it turns out that he was just really good.
Okay.
Like I wouldn't say you look back on it and be like, man, I can't believe Adam Scott won the Players. It's just he won it at 21.
Yeah.
It turns out that he would be good for the next 25 years.
Yeah. No. Okay.
Like the worst player on this list is Tim Clark. And then it's probably Stephen Ames.
He was a big game hunter, that Tim Clark.
Yep.
So I think that makes betting this tournament very difficult. Because if you come to the conclusion that like 10 guys, it's almost like betting at the Masters now.
That's right.
And you do want to have listen, JJ Spawn almost won last year. He probably should have won last year and then didn't.
And they played
Yeah,
that
but
on Monday.
I'm
final,
a sucker then because I'm not betting these guys, but I'm absolutely not shocked if Russell Henley, Goddard, Matt Fitzpatrick like win the Players.
Well, Matt Fitzpatrick's a major champion, so he should be on your list.
Yes, he is.
Sorry.
No,
but you know
I'm
what?
with
Like,
I'm with
already
you.
won.
I'm with you though, but this makes it betting very difficult because, Xander's at 24-1. Do I want to back Xander at 24-1 or Colin at 22-1? Maybe. Rory's really interesting here.
Given that the winner is almost certainly to come from, not guaranteed, but almost certainly to come from 30 and shorter, you got to have at least one person from 30 to 1 or shorter. Just if you want a real chance at winning, I think you got to have
It's
at least one,
tempting to
maybe two.
To Pat's point, it is tempting to just think Rory's healthy and you're going to like find 12, 14 to 1 or something
Sure.
today.
Yeah, not even
I don't
today.
like
If you wait during the week and we get no news, and all of a sudden Rory's 15 or 16-1, at some point it becomes just a good gamble that maybe he's okay because now you're getting double what his number was.
That's
so
fair.
And there's a lot to waiting. Obviously, I'm going to have my final picks with Keith on Wednesday morning. They'll be in the newsletter, completely free to join, by the way. Hit the description or Substack, Mayo Media. You can find it there as well. That will come out Wednesday afternoon. I'll do the live show, baby pending, on Wednesday night with everyone to go over. But I want to wait for the full weather report. It doesn't seem like it's going to be that bad. So that means tee times are important. And then you're going to see some of these numbers drift because, what has Ludwig gone from? 80 to 50 to 27 now, Jeff?
Never an 80, but there were 45 to 45 was the biggest. I watch it. And it's just like one of those things. As he has struggled or had that pocket where he wasn't playing well and his weekly tournament numbers have gotten to 40, 50, the Masters number never budged. But the Players Championship number was just been sitting here at these at 45 even through Saturday, I want to say.
To what degree is course history essential?
Zero.
Zero?
Course history, guys come second, then they miss the cut. the
Which
next year.
does speak to the flukiness a bit of the
Well,
course.
it's not so much the flukiness because PGA outside of Shane Lowry at PGA National, it's very similar to that as well, or the 3M Open. That if you just get it going bad for 2 holes, you are absolutely done. I remember Paul Casey because I had bet on Paul Casey and I put a lot of stock into course history with him because he was constantly top 15 basically every single year. So I'm like, you know what? Despite the fact that he never wins anything, I'm going to bet on Paul Casey. I think he ended up going to the water 3 times on 17. You're just done. It's over at that point.
So there's no people for him that's like a happy place that you at the top of the board. You go, this is his or her happy.
Scotty, Rory. I mean,
there are guys, but even mixed into the results of the guys with good, like Corey Connors, for example.
That's why I picked him.
Yeah.
But now you're telling me that course history doesn't matter much. I'm a little anxious about that pick.
Well, it's just I don't think it's predictive one way or another in terms of how they're going to do in a particular year. If you picked him over the course of 5 years, he probably has 3 really good results. That doesn't mean he's going to not come 111th the other 2 years.
Okay.
And that can kind of happen to anyone. And well, it's interesting with Scotty that if Scotty's irons continue to be as bad as they've been relative to what his peak was. And again, this is written up in the column that the point I was trying to make is Scotty last year, Geoff, was almost a half stroke better on approach per round than Victor Hovland, who was second. The gap between number 1 and number 2 was essentially the gap between Victor and the guy who was 137th. Like, it was such a pronounced gap. Scotty's almost a stroke worse per round on approach this season so far than he was in any of the past 2 years. That doesn't mean he's not going to get it back and go full Scotty Scheffler. Because we've seen flashes, even at Bay Hill, we saw flashes of it, where just for 7 holes, it's like, uh-oh, here, and you get like terrified when you see him coming, but then it just sputters out. It's happened. You know, he almost got into the playoff in Phoenix, ended up out of it by a shot. He's been making these runs, but they've been becoming more futile in every basically subsequent week since. So if his irons are off, the bet might be like his odds. He hasn't missed a cut in 3 years.
Okay.
And I pointed to that year, 2022, that his numbers most resemble. The last year, he wasn't the most dominant iron player on earth. A year where he won the match play, he won Bay Hill, he won the Masters. He had a great year. But he also missed 3 cuts that year, too. I don't think it's crazy to look at Scotty to miss the cut numbers.
Okay.
All it requires is how he's hitting his irons and a bad putting week.
And he's been having, Thursdays and Fridays that have sometimes been like disastrous.
And I don't think that I think that this week, does he have a better
something like that these days?
Scott, let's see. To make the cut, miss the cut. Scotty to miss the cut is 10-1.
Oh, I see. That is almost double than I would have guessed. So not that I'm an originator and my brain doesn't work great.
Do you make one of your big miss
that's
the cut
bigger than I
parlays
would have
here?
guessed you would have gotten.
I think to miss the cut is, I usually play the to make the cut parlay at the Masters. I do think that the move would be but I wouldn't put Scotty on a to miss the cut parlay. I would simply just bet him at 10-1 if I was going to make that bet. But I do think it's closer to a coin flip now, as crazy as that sounds, his winning versus to miss the cut.
Okay.
And you're getting over 3 times as much for him to miss the cut. I don't know if I'm going to make this bet, but I thought that was a really interesting angle because that's the whole point that I want to get to is how do you bet this tournament if all the favorites win? You try to find the favorite that wins, bet them, but we like to bet on lots of things. How do we do that?
Each ways on a lot of
each way, like the top 8s, the top 10s, even the top 3s that I've been playing the past few weeks. I don't know if top 3 will give me better EV on both the outright and if they come top 3, but I might sacrifice some of that outright number to go back to the top 8 this week because I was bailed out of that last year because Connors ended up inside the top 8. Akshay ended up inside the top 8. That was really good. Akshay seems like the world's biggest fade this week, by the way.
Yeah, if he drives it like he did last week. Although at the end of the last,
don't worry, brah, it'll be fine.
The end he was driving just
up.
fine. I don't know what Tim's thought on this is, but when you're the best in the world, like the best in the world, and maybe people, you call me a hypocrite, but it's so cringe when you act like a petulant child on the golf course. When you've won everything and you can't seem to control yourself when it's not going right for 2 weeks, settle down, pal.
Yeah, Scheffler turned into Spieth
Got
real
Spieth
quickly.
vibes, yelling at, looking at his caddy, how to miss.
Well,
He'd blame it. I hated that. I hate that.
I think it's more. I think it's more interesting for golf if Scheffler kind of becomes Spieth 2.0. But better than Spieth ended up being. Okay, you were on top of this. Spieth is going to revert. Most people are like, this guy's won 3 majors and he's 22 years old. He's going to be awesome. And then he was awesome for another 4 years. Just didn't win any majors. And then he turned into whatever. Spieth's fine. He's fine. He's one of the 50 best players in the world.
And he never recovered from a swing change in the success. And
weirdly,
it's all Greller's fault anyway.
Well, that's what. Now it's all Ted Scott's fault.
I know.
But it's weird for I can see why Spieth, but Spieth was like that even when he was dominating. But Scotty at this point, he's dominated for so long and just he blew past whatever Spieth did. Yeah. That when he does miss a shot, he's genuinely confused now. He's like, but this goes to 5 feet every time.
That's
sort
true.
of what I get
Bryson
that.
has this too, right?
Yeah.
He looked a little, and those, I don't know, seeing him in the practice rounds in the shorts, the legs look too skinny, the body, maybe he's got to put 20 back on.
That's what John Daly said. He lost a bunch of weight and he couldn't putt anymore.
Did you guys like
JD's son made a run.
Probably an excellent golfer. If he's already gotten this far and he's got his dad's genetics, like he's probably going to be a pretty darn good golfer.
And he's probably not pounding a 40 of vodka on the course every day.
But like, golf is not a sport where we have seen many people's children. It's not like football where like it's not uncommon to see
Bill
so-and-so
Haas would like to have a word with you,
It's
sir.
not common. So to see,
Haas, yeah.
it's not common. So to see somebody's son like be awesome at golf is an unusual circumstance and something to root for.
Well, like Charlie's pretty good.
He is, but like, how good is he going to be? I mean, we have no idea. It would be awesome if Charlie Woods was like a PGA level golfer.
Charlie Woods does not seem like he's as good as John Daly II.
I
Not
think we
yet,
could
but
be
he's
getting a
also like
few of them
17.
coming. I think one of the Kuchar boys might be coming on in a few years. I think we're going to see it maybe a bit more. On the broadcast on Saturday, someone said that they were speaking to Ludwig's caddy around the green in the morning, and he said, like, we're back, Ludwig's putter, full go. And then on the broadcast, after that story was reiterated, he missed a 4-footer on 3 and then a 6 and 8 footer on the next 3 holes. And that was so frustrating. But I want to say, being in Florida, I was still there on Thursday, flying home Friday. Saturday was the first chance I got to hear Jim Furyk. I thought he was excellent.
Yes, I agree. He was actually. He's better than Kisner.
Yes.
100%.
You know what Kisner didn't talk about at the Bay Hill broadcast? When I had money on him and he fucked up 18 to lose to Leishman. He didn't bring that up, did he?
Furyk, who's been good at this tournament too, so he might have some insights at the Players'
Yeah,
Championship.
Pat clipped me because I had Furyk. He had Keimer that year.
That was the year, was it, when he lost to Keimer?
Yeah,
Okay.
he was in that mix with Rory the first year Rory won too.
That's right.
He was like the old man making a run.
So I hope that they give Furyk a lot of runway this week at the Players' Championship.
It's not. I mean, you're gonna settle on your voice. I don't mind a rotation of like 3 or 4 guys. You identify the one guy who's really good, and he does the biggest events.
Yes.
But you don't need to have Furyk out there every week. Like,
No, you
have
don't.
Kisner for the Valero Texas
That's
Open
fine.
or whatever.
But if this is the flagship event of your PGA season, you should have your best commentators on it. They don't put the C crew on the NFL on the Super Bowl.
There's also I mean, this is gonna sound terrible, but Kisner sounds like a dummy when he talks.
I don't know about that.
It just I don't want to hear a Southern accent in the booth.
I don't mind a Southern
don't.
accent. I think it can be.
There's a reason that most of these guys have been like outside of Johnny Miller, like British accents or South African accents. There's like a
CBS had Lanny. What's his name? Was it Lanny Watkins?
Watkins?
Forever. He has a very Southern accent.
When did he retire?
Like before Faldo took over from him. So like 2006, 2007,
So it's
2008.
like over 25 years ago.
I don't mind a Southern accent. It doesn't matter to me.
It matters to me.
As long as there's-
As an elitist, I don't like it. I want to hear some posh man up there.
well, in some ways, a well-polished Southern accent is more polished.
Yeah, but you
than
know
like
what? I would. You know what? If you want to give me a real fancy man,
yeah, like a really like well manicured Southern accent's better than like 95% of American.
give me the
accents.
people from the Southern Charm show on
Yes.
Bravo. Don't give me Kevin Kisner.
Bless your soul.
Yeah, like that would be fine. But just there's something about it that, unless it's a completely like international accent, I just want my broadcasters to have the most neutral voice.
Like Robert Stack.
Robert Stack has a very pronounced voice.
But it was like, it's neutral.
It is, but it's also forceful at the same time. Most broadcasters have a very neutral voice. Like it's very, maybe it's regional that I don't want to hear. Like I wouldn't want to hear some guy from fucking the Bronx on there either. Who just piss me off to no end. Just give me neutral.
I guess. Oh, Jim!
Yeah, give me Tony. I'd take Tony over Kisner. You'd be fired up to do golf.
That'd be a great way for the PGA to make extra money. Let's say you made the Players' Championship a major. You put that out to tender.
To what?
You would put it out to tender. And why would NBC have the exclusive rights to the Players' Championship?
They
anymore if
might
it's a major?
own. They might own part of the course. That could be why. Because
Fair enough.
They
That-
were
you know that better than
they
me.
and Golf Channel because they were headquartered there for so long. They put so much infrastructure into it. I believe that's why they get it.
Okay.
If this was like a fair and balanced approach to a 5th major, I think the golf world would say the Australian Open should get it.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. I hate to tell you.
So that's, I don't know. Maybe that's me living in the world I want to live in as opposed to the world we're in, like Tim with his golf balls.
You know what they do? The PGA Tour doesn't want to do is put a major in fucking Australia where it comes on at 2 a.m.
I mean, in their
they already have one major.
The A in PGA stands for America.
I'm just going to say that there are going to be a lot of people in this golf thing that just look at listen, I want to support the new guy, but they're just going to look at him as like a football guy is telling us this is a major. Like, sorry, pal. I don't know if you guys remember, but when Ben Johnson, the rumors, when he Bears coach, when he turned down the Washington job a couple years ago, that famous quote of like, he didn't feel comfortable working for a couple basketball guys.
You are more likely to see the 5th major be in Saudi Arabia than you are Australia.
I would
honestly.
agree.
Not the
If
Betfred
Kowski had a
Masters
market.
presented by Sir Nick Faldo?
Well, it's not always presented by Sir Nick Faldo.
No, it was last year.
It was presented by Danny Willett one year. That sounded like a major event.
I
by the
actually
way.
don't think we need an extra major.
I agree.
Yes,
We
I
really
don't know
don't
why
need
we
clarify the British Masters versus the real Masters.
the US PGA and the British PGA. Yeah, that's
It's
right.
okay. I saw Ben
it's not
Coley
called the
put
British
out he had to clarify USPGA because he gave a Ricky Fowler 200-1 at Aronimik. I saw on the internet yesterday, and Ricky Fowler's like a top 30 player in the world right
Yeah,
now.
Ricky's super interesting right now. He's been playing good golf.
I was very surprised that Ricky and Colin rushed just on Saturday to finish the way they did. And it bit Ricky and it didn't bite Colin. That, like, what's a stroke worth to you to have that full night's rest?
Ooh,
Because, like,
It-
I
it's-
don't think it's worth a stroke.
I
And That's
do.
what Ricky gave up to get in.
he
the
did.
house.
I think unless you are who was it who didn't want to stick around? Jeff, was it Paul Casey or
Yeah,
Phil?
Paul
It was
Casey,
Paul Casey
versus
against Phil.
Probably
Phil-
the year you bet him.
Phil wanted to play in the pitch darkness because, as Jeff said, he had Gulfstream rental fees that he didn't
you
want to
got
have
the
to pay.
pilots like there, and then the pilots go on an overtime extra night. When you own the plane, you're paying for the pilots to sleep, room, and board too, friends.
I think it's context dependent. Now they were way back at the time too. That's one thing to consider.
Well,
the other part
Colin was only 2 strokes back.
What's that?
Colin was 2 strokes back.
Of that time, now Berger was up by 4
No, he was
because Berger had just made a birdie because he was still on the course. No, he was coming back to putt for eagle.
Yeah.
So the score wasn't actually what the score was.
He was minus 12 and Colin was minus 10 when the day ended.
If it was me, I would try to finish if I was on the last hole because it's not even the full night's sleep. Is that you get yourself ready to go back out? Like you still have to go warm up and do all your regular stuff, even if it's to hit a chip and a putt. And then you would now have to wait 6 hours till you play again. It's not like you're going back. If they were able to go back out right away, but they were in the second to last group, they would have had to wait for the entire course to go play.
What it's worth to you. Like, how many strokes is it worth a full stroke? I guess so.
I mean, he probably also thought he was going to make it.
Gave him good sleep scores too. You saw it yesterday. They were talking about their sleep scores.
Let's get the Whoop member. Listen, if you're gonna do
On a day where you lose an hour based on daylight saving, and they don't even address it in your sleep score, I don't know why that's on the screen.
How are you doing?
Awful. I hate this time change. It's the worst. Jared and Dayton noticed when I got
you
in
act
today.
like a peacock on the other time change.
I was edgy when I came in here today. I was because I hate this time change
as someone who enjoys to play golf, I don't understand how you could hate
because
this
it
time
throws
change.
your circadian rhythms off.
You know what else does? Drinking coffee, having cigs, and eating fast food all day.
That is a separate.
I wouldn't worry too much about the hour time change. You know what it gets us? Extra daylight in the summer so we can play golf longer.
It's you know what? We're just better off when we just have regular normal time. I don't like it. It throws me off. I don't like that it's in the middle of the night. They should make the time change like during the day so that like people aren't like losing sleep over it. Imagine if it was 2:00 on a Friday, people would be fired up. Day's over now. Time to go home. It's 4:00 now.
You're just bitter because you're like months of glory are over.
They are over, but you know it's only it's about 3 months until the clock starts starts moving backward just a little bit.
Disgusting.
So enjoy it while you got it, but my time is coming again and it will not go away.
So, of these top 6 guys, Jeff, I think we should give a look to Tommy here. This seems like the perfect Tommy Fleetwood course.
To finish
I
second
mean,
that?
Maybe.
you could-
You would
seeing
point
the
to
drift.
Memphis,
Yeah.
and it's going to
I'm
drift
seeing
because
the
he had a
drift.
bad
A
week
lot
at
of guys
Bayville.
like Tommy a week ago, Pat was like when I was betting those
17
Ludwigs
to
and
1.
other guys, he was like 18-1. So I'm enjoying the drift, and I'm not a Morikawa guy. So and this is a tournament where, I mean, God forbid it's a major, but it's big enough where I ride my horses.
Is it a 30-man event? Because if it is, Tommy might win.
If you play the different sorts of each way, so if you play him with the 1/4 top, like the top 8 each way, he drops to 20-1. If you do the 3 each way, he goes up to 35-1.
I don't hate Tommy Fleetwood at all.
What we've seen the last 2 weeks on the PGA Tour, all that good grace of Tommy would be going out the window. If God forbid he did something like Berger or Shane.
You said this is a reduced field from traditionally,
It's down from 144 to 121.
but it's still 65 in ties.
65 in ties. But I don't really care what happened at Riviera or Bay Hill as it pertains to Sawgrass. You know where he did play well? At Pebble Beach, which is easily a more comp. I mean,
would care about Pete Dye courses
It's an
and stuff like
easier
that.
course, but you're going to hit more similar shots at Pebble Beach than you were ever going to do here. And I think he finished like top 10 at Genesis anyway. A bad week at Bay Hill. Bay Hill is another one of those courses like this place where guys can have good records time over time. And again, then you see, 1 year they were +9.
I'm not sure missing the cut at Bay Hill isn't good for your chances at this tournament. Like Lowry missed the cut. Lowry, I didn't pick him. Lowry could win this thing easily. Lowry nearly won a Florida event 2 weeks ago. He's been playing good golf. He could go off and win this thing, no problem. And having the extra time off probably didn't do Lowry any disservice. He was still probably pretty rattled from what happened the week before. So, like,
Did you-
I wouldn't.
Did you bet Berger at the Cognizant, Pat?
No.
See, I didn't, so I wasn't like, and people who probably bet him at the Cognizant were probably like just frustrated watching yesterday. But Tim's leading into it. Do we think Berger is going to have a week this week like Shane had last week?
Well, one of the biggest talking points that Keith and I had that we severely disagreed on last week was the impact of around the green play at Bay Hill, in that are good around the green players predictive at Bay Hill? And it was my contention that they are not, that anyone can kind of have a good week chipping at Bay Hill because you're chunking it out of these deep rough lies. And it's not like it's going to be this week where there's basically no rough around the greens. They're shaved off. Hell, you can putt in some spots if you want to. You need to have that sort of touch. Those like Siwoo, Hideki, Justin Thomas, Cam Smith would have been another one where they have that immaculate touch to get the ball to stop. No one was getting the balls to stop at Bay Hill. No. They're firmer greens, they're fast, and you're coming out of the rough the majority of the time. And then you see that the guy who was ranked statistically basically the worst on tour around the greens in Daniel Berger all of a sudden has a good week chipping. Now, he did chip well. That did help him in his score, but to come into the week, he gained around the greens. He had lost in the 4 previous tournaments, and over his past 50 rounds, he's been losing a half stroke around the green per round. And then he goes to Bay Hill and he gains a half stroke positively. Yeah. So, and Akshay is not the world's greatest around the green player either. He chipped in like 3 times.
Yeah, you could have a spike week. These things happen.
But it's more apt to happen at Bay Hill than it would be at the Players. Now, if you chip in twice, your numbers are going to be completely skewed, and it could be a lucky chip, like the one that Scotty hit at Phoenix earlier, where if it didn't hit the pin and go in, it was going into the water across the green because it had so much momentum by it. But it went in, so he gets credited for a huge pump up and around the green number. So they're not completely by the book. There's stuff that fudges them either way. But if someone's constantly losing, they're probably not that good around the greens. So it would worry me where generally, over the past 5 years, off the tee and around the green have been worth about the same to the top 10 finishers, that you need to have an on point. I mean, it's obviously better just to hit the greens in regulation, therefore you don't have to chip, but no one does that.
Okay.
Tim, have you gotten into this Akshay anchoring controversy that I see golf Twitter likes to play with, especially after a win?
You know who likes to say that Akshay is anchoring his putter? People who bet on Daniel Berger.
I asked Pat about it earlier. I said, is he anchoring his putter? Because I've seen this controversy, and he explained to me, no, he's not doing it.
He's not anchoring his putter. Do you know why it looks that way, Geoff?
Well, the TV angle probably doesn't help, but I'm willing to believe with how hardcore these guys are, if he was anchoring his putter, there'd be people screaming in the locker room and be a much bigger thing.
It's golf. People call in to the broadcast when somebody doesn't put their putt back in the exact right spot.
You know who calls people out on cheating? Daniel Berger.
Fair enough.
Well said, Pat. Well said. There it is. End case.
The reason that it looks that way is because Akshay is so goddamn skinny that all of his clothes hang on. Listen, he's not me out here, where there's no room in between my chest and shirt. It's basically painted on. Akshay is just out there with like 8 inches of gap. So when he puts it underneath, it looks like he is anchoring, but it's just like his shirt is hanging down. So it's touching the top of his shirt. Yep. And people get like, also, I mean, I'll throw it out there. If Akshay wasn't a brown dude, people wouldn't care as much in golf.
I think people just hate
about the anchoring.
I think people just don't like the broomstick putter in general. and therefore
You know what? I didn't hear.
are looking.
I didn't hear shit about this when Adam Scott does the exact same thing.
I don't like when Adams. I don't like.
Yeah, but you know what? No one mentions it.
I don't like it when Bryson uses that super long putter and anchors it into his arm either. I don't like that.
Bryson's also just doing his own thing.
I know. I miss him. But anyway,
You can watch Liv. He plays
would
on
be
Liv.
so fun at this course. Oh my goodness, this would be such a perfect course for him.
I mean, you
'Cause
say
it's
that-
a thinking man's golf course where you have to be creative and make shots.
Well, he did. He almost won it the year that Justin Thomas won it, and he didn't hit driver all week. He only hit driver on the par fives. He took 5 iron out off every tee.
He doesn't need to. He
No,
can
but
hit a
it just-
driving iron.
But
on
he
every
was
hole.
like, he's laying. He's like, I got to keep it clean.
Yeah.
If I'm in the water, I can't win.
I miss someone like him. Would be so much fun to watch here. But anyway.
So, of the guys that we mentioned, the big 6
Mm-hmm.
this week, who would it be for you?
According to the Big Six, they showed us pairings already, Pat, on the
Oh,
broadcast. Did you
sweet.
see that?
I didn't because I'm not watching the broadcast right now.
I guess Schauffele.
Why?
Well, because he fits all that criteria of major winner who hasn't the course history doesn't matter, and
He's come second here.
yeah. So I don't know. It's just, I'm down on Scotty for the reasons you've described. That his ball striking has not been as good.
And it's price sensitive with Scotty too. I think that's the part that gets
Yeah.
lost in this argument.
If you told me they were all 10-1, well, sure, okay. But like, I'm off on Rory. I'm not convinced that if he starts to feel bad to protect himself for Augusta, he doesn't like withdraw if he starts to feel pain again. So I have no risk tolerance for Rory. And Fleetwood doesn't win real events, so I don't like Fleetwood. So where else am I going to go? Like,
Morikawa, who's kind of engineered in a lab for this
I'm
course.
kind of like a light version of Jeff.
Tim.
And I'm not a big fan of Morikawa, so it's hard for me to pick him.
I don't want to push the conversation there. And Pat, when I meant the broadcast, I meant during yesterday's Sunday round broadcast. They showed us final groups, and I can't believe they kept Justin Thomas in one.
And he's a former champion, and
Yeah.
he's Justin Thomas. He's making his second start.
Yeah.
As much as he seems milquetoast, people do recause Justin
Oh,
Thomas.
absolutely.
Like it
Tim,
was-
I'm surprised. If I had to guess a player that you would have had in your 3-pack this morning, because it's always, I always feel like you'd vindicate your Hideki pick.
well, we're not there yet.
Well,
It was one of the options.
But I gave my 3-pack.
yeah,
away.
and the 3-pack. Yeah.
I mean, I'm still frustrated that Hideki gave away that huge win for me at Phoenix. So,
To Jeff's guy.
yeah, that's a little frustrating.
So this 30 to 75 range, the next tier of guys, this is going to be the popular spot for everyone who is betting. And it's got some names. I mean, Siwoo is at 30 to 1, 32 to 1. I'm probably going to bet he's having the best year of his career. There's no one gaining more strokes per round than Siwoo this year. And this is the perfect Siwoo course. It's short, he's accurate, and he's outside of, well, I guess Rory not now. Siwoo's hitting the best side. He just can't putt. But he has putted well here, occasionally. And then what you're really praying for with Siwoo is just you're hoping he makes a few putts this week. He doesn't, and he's not even like some of these other guys that need to make all the putts in order to win. He's not Denny McCarthy. It's like, well, Denny needs to gain 20 strokes putting. Just pencil in Siwoo for 2.5 strokes putting gain, and he can win.
I feel like you can know pretty early with Siwoo whether you're going to have a good week or bad week.
I agree.
He's like Aubert in that sense, that like he's either good or he's not.
Say that again?
Ludwig Aubert?
Okay, the first one was like, oh, bah.
No. Anyway.
You said it like our friend Billy says French names. Oh, bah, yeah.
Well, he's from Montreal. That's the way he says it. That's the way
So
it's said.
Cam Young, Hideki, Siwoo, Henley, Goddard, Knapp, Minwoo, Straka, Akshay, Victor, Harris English, Fitz. Lord help me with Fitzpatrick. Cantlay, Bobby Mack, Ricky, Lowry, Griffin, Berger, Brooks, Kitayama, your boy Mav McNeely, Adam Scott, Spieth, Harry Hall, Bridgman, Justin Rose, Sam Burns. That's the entire collection of guys in this range. I like Siwoo. I do like Rose. And the only bet that I have on the board so far is Straka at 60 to 1, and I took him with 5 places.
I've
I made
seen
that
he's
yesterday.
obviously tumbled. I'm seeing that just dropped to 45 a couple places.
Yeah, he's 45, 50 in some spots now. But, I mean, he missed all those short putts on Sunday, so we could bank them all for this week.
He caught a bogey train and whatever. He wasn't going to, then he's not going to win. And then I sort of like, when that happens, I sort of like I'm an apologist for the final 6 holes for a player of that caliber.
Well, I told you that about Scotty, too. And, many are pointing to how bad his approach numbers were. But Scotty's not playing for 8th place. He's playing to, once he's He basically looked at the scoreboard like, well, I need to birdie every hole on this course if I have any chance to win. There was nothing stopping him from firing at pins that you just don't fire at.
Well, we've seen that at this tournament before, where people stop trying to win and just start trying to protect their payout.
Well, Poulter got paid like $3 million for it, so he's doing okay. And we know he's all about the money.
No, fair enough.
We found that out.
But, something to bear in mind when if you have like a 150 to 1 guy who's a long shot odd and he's in second, maybe he doesn't take on that risky shot on 16 because he's playing to protect his money.
That was the Siwoo year that Poulter didn't try to go for it from the woods. Also, he wasn't going to make that shot, too. I think he did know that.
So I agree with Tim. Like, by the time Scotty's on 16 yesterday, he is just like, what am I having for dinner? What will I bring on the plane? Like, his mind is like,
he's preparing for Bible study.
He's not trying to protect FedEx Cup points or a dollar. It's just, let's get this over with. So I'm going to, those sorts of players, and I even put Straka not in that level, but in a tier of like, I don't think he's protecting FedEx Cup points. I don't think he gives a shit. I'm an apologist for how a round finishes when you're that tier of player once you're like not going to win.
Does Sam Burns belong in that tier?
No, I don't think so.
I was going to ask you about him.
I think he's probably...
Those odds were shorter than I would have anticipated they ought to be for Sam Burns.
Really? What would you think that he was going to be at?
80 to 1.
Oh, really?
When's the last time he's been good?
He was good a couple weeks ago, and he was only 40 to 1 that week.
Yeah, that was at Pebble. He's 66 to 1.
Okay, so that's still a little...
he's behind Harry Hull on the board.
He's
Harry
like
Hull!
Yeah, Rose and Burns are the same number, which makes sense.
Except Rose has won this year.
Yeah, I like Rose more than Burns. However, I can see the case for Sam Burns. I don't like his driving here. That would really worry me.
Okay.
Geoff,
so in this range, Pat, you know who I'm thinking about, and I haven't crossed off Hideki.
Can Hideki not drive the ball in the water? We've seen Hideki have a bit of a struggle off the tee so far this year.
But I don't think I've ever made a bet on this guy in the history of our show.
So it's not Patrick Cantlay.
Harris English?
No, I won with Harris English last year with the
Who have you not bet? You
Ever.
You've never.
And he's in the range.
Oh, so you like Russell Henley this week?
I might be able to bet on, it's like a poor version of Morikawa, and I don't want to cheer for Morikawa.
Well, couldn't you then make the case that Harris English is sort of the poorer man's version of both those guys who's played better at bigger tournaments?
Very fair point. Very, very fair point. Geez. Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking what you might have to say about Fitz. I'm seeing it as high as 50 there. I don't know that I'm going to be there. A week ago, I thought I for sure would be there.
I feel like if I've been betting him every week anyway.
He's a major champion.
He is a major champion.
Some of that.
And he finally had a bad approach week at a number where if you hit it into the water twice, it can severely skew your approach numbers, honestly. And it did when he kept going in the water. Yeah, and he was another one that I think he got it to 4 under on Sunday, and he hit like one bad shot. And he was just, the rest of his card was like bogey, 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 bogey. I think he bogeyed 5 of the last 6 holes or something like that.
Bet every day has Siwoo to 40 if you need that on a boost.
I'm looking at it right now. But I can also, I'm trying to figure out if I want to play the 8 places, the 3 places, or just win only. I think I want to play places because of the top end stuff here. But I think I will end up, if I've been riding Fitz for a month anyway, and he's been having the best ball striking year of his career to this point, and the only reason he couldn't get over the line for 4 tournaments because he couldn't make a putt. Well, he made all the putts at Bay Hill. That he did do.
And you just didn't have Akshay. After Akshay's been your guy, and then he won.
Well, so. I mean, Akshay, I like Akshay so much, him being my favorite player. I don't need to bet on Akshay for me to feel. I mean, I wish I had. I wish I had bet on Akshay.
I get it.
But I feel good when Akshay wins because I like him so much. I want to see.
I sort of had that feeling like his Berger I thought was going to win. It's like, I like Berger a lot. I'm really happy. I'm happy for him to win a big boy.
And it's not like I had money on Berger. I had money on Ludwig, and just he wasn't going to get there.
He's got too much stuff in his pockets. You notice that? He's always got way too much stuff in his back pockets. It must be extremely uncomfortable to putt like that when you've got like George's wallet on one side and like your gloves stuffed. Anyway, it seems like it would be uncomfortable.
He's very frustrating because there's these moments of brilliance and then there's these moments of like it feels unserious. But you know, it is. It is what it is.
I was super impressed. I guess it was Saturday when he duffed that shot in the sand trap and then hit the second one of the sand trap to about 9 inches when they were talking about how guys usually hit this way too hard and blast it past the hole. And he just didn't. I was like, that is super impressive.
So there's water on the left everywhere here,
Yes.
as you may know.
Right off the first tee.
Yeah, and off 18. So the hole that we played, the 18th hole at Hunter's Run that we played on the weekend, is basically to mimic the 18th hole at Sawgrass.
And like Pebble's 18th is similar, though it's a par 5. It's a very similar hole.
Not really, because you can drive it straight
Remember
over the
when
cliff.
JT almost got wet on 18 at Pebble the year that he won.
JT has never won Pebble. You're talking about Sawgrass.
Yeah, like he almost got wet off that hole.
But he had like a great low stinger. So on the rabbit hole, you can sort by left tendency and right tendency off the tee. So the players that miss to the left the least: Aaron Rai, Morikawa, Norin, Poston, Berger, the Smother Man, Siwoo Kim, Kitayama, Kanaya, Hovland, Sungjae. And we'll get to Damon in a bit. Ryan Gerard is up there. Chris Kirk. Pierce and Cootie is another one. Ricky Fowler is another one who very rarely misses left. Guys that do miss left, Vegas. Yes. Akshay, Ricky Castillo, Tony Finau, Johnny Kiefer, Davis Riley, Shooter Shan, Yeller Maraju.
Yeah.
It's Canadian.
Okay.
Old Yeller. Eric Cole, Xander misses to the left. Day, Scheffler has a bad case. Steven Yeager, no shock there. Minwoo is another one. Goddard is another one up there as well. Goddard and Minwoo are really interesting to me, Geoff.
You don't put Theegala in that group either?
I'm not betting Theegala.
Okay. Lay it on me.
Well, just Goddard and Minwoo. Minwoo has had 2 really good runs at the Players, and he's hitting his approaches good for the first time in his career right now. And he's another one who doesn't necessarily have to use driver at this course because he hits it so long. But you can break it out on the par 5s and get there. And
that's what I would think, yeah.
So 2 of the
Is that
3
mini driver not going to be all over Sawgrass?
Probably. It depends on the player. Most players don't carry the mini driver, do they?
I'm seeing more. I saw it come out this weekend a bit, I feel, for a few guys. But
Phil would definitely carry it.
Phil would have like 8 mini drivers.
He did win the Players once.
That was
that fantastic shot out of the sand trap.
I'm a sucker.
So you're in on Minwoo. It's just their odds have cratered a bit. And like, why is Minwoo a better bet than Goddard, who's already won twice this year?
Yeah, I can't speak for that. I can't speak for. It does feel like Minwoo getting under 50-1 would be a little. I don't know if I really would want to do that.
Minwoo Lee, he'll be on the President's Cup.
They didn't even play him in the day that we.
Yeah, again, because Mike Weir is like the worst captain imaginable. So you've put Geoff out there as the captain. He's doing a better job than Mike Weir is. 100%. You're doing a better job, Geoff. You're not just rolling out the same groups twice in a row on Saturday.
So what is it about Brooks that you don't like? You just use him as a one and done, and he played really well for you.
I just think Brooks is too inconsistent. I don't really want to see him do that well anyway.
You don't want to see him do well, you just said?
No, I'm not too much of a fan of Brooks right now.
Is that because he left your beloved
It has
live?
nothing to do with that. I just am not too impressed.
I think Brooks is interesting.
No, he's too inconsistent.
But he's also 75-1.
And
that's okay. I know when he plays well, he can win. He's going at 75-1. He's probably going to lose most of the time.
Yeah, that's a pretty good number, 75. I see a lot of 50, 55s out there for him.
You're just out on him. Is there anyone
on Brooks? Yeah.
There's this whole group of golfers at 55 to 60-1 that, like, I know you guys mentioned Rose, but like Bobby and Ricky and Kitayama, English, even Tim's boy Mav.
Kitayama's really.
I just wouldn't have the guts to bet any of them.
I mean, Kitayama's driving, especially his accuracy, has improved so much that I don't see why not. He's as you like to say, a generational flusher. He's
pure.
He's basically longer off the tee Corey Connors, but with more constant. He actually gains strokes putting sometimes.
And there's a couple books, Pat, that I don't think they know what's up, but they've just been confused, and you'll be refunded. But they've got Patrick Reed at 40. I've seen it on 2 books.
So watch out for Patrick Reed this week.
Another person I'm not cheering for much, actually.
He's basically re-earned his PGA Tour card already.
I don't think he's going to be that good.
Not in the field, but
yes, he is not playing.
He will be at Augusta, and he won't be doing that well.
Minwoo's driving accuracy for the year at some of these shorter courses where he's been playing, he's up to 23rd in driving accuracy.
Okay.
That's super interesting.
There is a long shot I want to ask you about.
Well, do you want to get to? So there's no one else here. So for me, Rose. I mean, it's the same losers I've been betting. Like I like Rose, I like Kitayama, I like Fitz. Harris English is intriguing if I can find a better number on him, and Siwoo would kind of be the 5 in here. Straka is the only one that I've actually put money down on for the week, but I need to massage this a bit and figure out how I want to bet these guys, whether it is a win, whether I'm going to end up betting fucking Fitzpatrick. I know it.
Did you mention Hovland yet?
Yeah, he was on that list. When I asked what names intrigue you, no one brought him up.
Well, you talked about his ball striking when you were comparing him to Scotty, and he was the second person
that was
behind
last
Scotty.
year.
Still, but that
he
means
doesn't
he's got
miss left.
that skill set. I don't know. Is Hovland interesting?
I heard Pat say he doesn't miss left. It's the tighter chips though here, right?
He's maybe it's just because it's ingrained in my head and it's been for so long that I've watched him try to get up and down at this course and flub chips in front of him. You're just like, oh no. So no, he's not going to be for me this week. I can see him winning an event like this, but it just requires him to ball strike it so much better than everyone else that he doesn't have to chip.
I mean, like, yeah, he'll hit 16 of 18 greens. He can do that.
And in retro, although he's not a major champion, if we looked 5 years from now, it's like, oh, Victor has a Masters. You'd be like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So long shots, 75 plus. Jeff, you seem eager.
Well, there was someone as I was making my bets on the weekend who was like, I'm probably going to be interested in that. It was a big number. I didn't bet it. But I know you've been on it a bit, at least Norin, 90-1.
He can't put 4 rounds together. He can barely put a full round together, like a full round, but the 4 rounds, he'll have 2 really good ones and 2 really mediocre ones. But I have been betting him because of this. It just seems like he's close. And if he's close, it feels like the right course. I think I'd be more apt to play him like a top 20 or a top 10 rather than the outright win. Like I would almost rather, like, I know I've been betting Nikolai. Nikolai had 1 bad week where he still made the cut. I'd probably rather go back to Nikolai over him. I'd probably rather go to Aaron Rye over him. Hell, Corey Connors maybe even over him. And I think that Nico is buried way too far on this list. Nico's like 250-1. Isn't this a perfect Nico Echeverria course? It's in Florida and it's target golf. Just don't get wet and you're good.
Yeah, I guess because it was the Cognizant, it's not respected. Because like Jacob Bridgman won and he was like 150 and now he's like 70. But Nico won and he's 175.
And Nico is perfect for that pendulum that I was talking about. And it's the reason that we bet him at Honda. Are you okay?
Yeah, no, I was just thinking about a golfer.
Like just plot, like he can just plot around here beautifully. He's one of the best Bermuda putters on earth, right?
Yeah, like this is Poa Travalis, the overseer on the Bermuda. It's very akin to Phoenix. It's like faster Phoenix greens. So if guys putt well at Amex or Phoenix, generally they tend to putt well here. That was one of the other correlations that I did stumble across. Either way, Nico's going to be plus 13 or minus 13. He's sort of like what Siwoo used to be. Is that when he gets hot, he just goes unconsciously hot. And this is a course that utilizes his skill set. And it's one thing that he has 3 wins now on tour. And this was the biggest one, technically the biggest one that he had was the Cognizant, where he kind of got lucky and it wasn't a very good field. But he played the Bay Current, which used to be the Zozo over in Japan, and won there, beating Xander and Colin Morikawa in the final round. He tracked down real guys in that tournament to beat them. But you just have to know, if you're investing your money in Nico, it could be a sunk cost within 3 holes. Or he could go super low. Put it this way, Nico's going to be on the first round leader card, if nothing else.
The golfer I was looking at, I was curious what he'd been doing this year because he is a major champion. I was curious how he'd been doing this year. He's been doing terribly. So I'm concerned that he wouldn't be a good pick. But I don't know what Brian Harman's odds are. They're probably super long. And like he does sort of fit the course a little bit.
I like that.
He's crazy long odds, but like he's going to be able to hit driver everywhere because it doesn't matter.
Harman is 250-1.
That seems too
I'd rather
long.
bet Harman than Wyndham.
I would agree with that.
And they both tied for second year to Scotty 2 years ago.
That's what I was thinking.
Harman
about.
popped once this year, and he's been terrible.
I know he made the cut at the Arnold Palmer, but he was terrible.
Let's see. He popped at Pebble Beach. He was T19.
Tiny greens here.
He's right in front of Hitsetsuni on my odds board. Your boy.
I actually like Hitsetsuni this week.
I always like Hitsetsuni.
I mean, this is a better course for him. Genesis, not so much. 'Cause
I
the
just
guy-
liked him.
The guy drives it like shorter than I
He's
do.
been playing 3 great rounds of golf. That's where tournaments. That's why I picked him.
Yeah, at a course that makes no sense.
I just thought he was
at courses that
grooving.
make.
I was playing the hot
the
hand.
Amex and Pebble Beach,
I was playing the hot.
and you're like, oh, let's get to the longest course all year with a guy who drives it 200 yards. Perfect. Surprised you didn't take Brian Harmon that week.
no, but I do think Brian Harmon's an interesting little play here.
So I wrote down Heat Satsune. I wrote down Joel Damon and Taylor Pendrith as guys to look at, because Pendrith and Damon and Michael Kim. I don't think Kim is going to win. This is more for first round leader, top 20s.
What a great show that would be. You have to get him on here like the Monday after.
I was texting with him this weekend because I saw him playing. His ball striking numbers were off the charts good. I was like, dude, your swing looks good. He's like, the best I've felt in ages. And I was like, how big was that fucking gator? He's like, it wasn't a gator. It was a dinosaur. He was freaked.
Did you see any alligators on the golf course in Florida?
No, but I was intentionally not looking for them.
I feel like you would see them if they were there. They'd like waddle out onto the course and just like hang out. You think I'm afraid of geese?
Yeah, I could see you running away from the gators.
Yes, I would. Yes, I would. I watched Hook. Those things eat you.
So those were Damon's been fire recently. He missed the cut at Bay Hill, but he had fantastic ball striking numbers. As I mentioned, Pendrith lost 10 strokes putting. Michael Kim lost 5 strokes putting at Bay Hill. I'm not too concerned about the Bay Hill putting. Those greens are way different. But if the ball striking was there, consider me in on these guys in some regard. I don't know how I want to deploy them, but those names just jumped off. Nico, I will bet because he can win.
Okay. Well, he just did.
Though he did, but just in 3 wins Joel Damon's won before too. It just happened to be the
But I mean,
Corrales.
recently, Hechavarria just won recently.
Correct. So those were the long shots that I was looking at, Geoff. Did you have any?
Norin and Pendrith were sort of the deepest I was going, but I hadn't even thought of Hitsatsune, and I am seeing him at 225, 250 to 1, which is absurd.
Yeah, and those
I guess with the placings, which is maybe where betting a guy like that, I would dumb it down to. I'm got to find what the best I could get for the placings would be, but that one caught me off guard. And just going back to it,
So Rio Hitsatsune.
I'm not betting Ryan Gerard.
I really want to, but I just can't do it.
But I think he will plot around beautifully, as likely would an Aaron Rye.
Rye should. Bud Colley's playing a bit better golf now too. Another guy who just hits a ton of fairways, was inside the top 6 at the tournament last year too.
I was surprised he even was in Bay Hill. What do I know?
He made all the signature events.
Yeah, he's crushing it.
But I'm looking at the Bet365 placement market right now. There's a top 10 play. There's a 3, 5, 8, 10, and 12 placements market. So Hitsatsune, if you wanted to play him, let's say with 10 places. And what I like to do is compare this to, and people ask me about the placements all the time. Is it good? Is it bad? We've went through that on the show in terms of EV, but just for your peace of mind here. And Damon's the same price, so we can try this out. So if you take him at the 8 places, it's 200 to 1. And if you play him at the 10 places, it's 160 to 1. So you're giving up 40 points on his overall win number. But if you justice of position that with his top 10, just what are his top 10 numbers anyway, then I think that's where you need to start trying to figure it out. So let's play including ties. Now, we don't want to do that. We want to do top finishes. We want to do a Rio Hitsatsune. Hitsatsune top 10 is 14 to 1. So 160 is what I said it was, right?
Yep.
160 divided by 5. So here's why I think it's better to play the outright win at 160 to 1 rather than just play with the 10 places rather than just the top 10. His top 10 number is 14 to 1, which can still get dead heated, so it can still get chopped. If you play it as the other bet, let's say we'll call it $10 just to make it easy for people. $10 on a Hitsatsune top 10 at 14 to 1 pays $140 if it hits. The Hitsatsune each way, if you go 5 and 5 on that, pays 32 to 1 for the top 10. So you actually win $160.
Why would you ever not?
But you have the out of him actually winning the tournament too.
Yeah, why would you ever not bet that?
Because people don't look at the odds this way. They just want to play top 10. So because it's more for trying to convey to people that what I'm really doing here is playing the top 10. But I mean, you get a better number at the top 8 because the top 8 would be 40 to 1 on a top 8 rather than the 32 to 1 for the top 10. Whatever way feels better to you. But when I release a card with all the outrights on it, there's going to be like 5 guys from like 200 to 1 plus. I'm not really playing them for the outright. I'm playing the bet that gives me better access to the better top 10. Does that make sense?
Yeah, total sense.
People lose that in the fold sometimes.
They should listen to you because you're the top 10 master. Didn't you used to give out picks of top 10s that won every week?
I was doing that until I started betting them. So I was never playing the top 10
every week.
Golf
Like,
Digest.
another top 10 hit.
Yeah, just every week. That one's doing well. All right. Quick picks for the Players' Championship.
All in caps, by the way.
Okay,
That's a law. If it's not all in caps,
Doesn't
you're not
count.
talking about it.
The finalized bets, first round leaders, all the placements, those will be out in the newsletter and on the Wednesday show with Keith. But what I have in right now, I am going to bet, I already have bet on Straka 60 to 1 with 5 places, and I will bet on Nico Echevarria at, I believe it's 250 to 1 with 5 places, which seems pretty good to me. I might end up going with the 10 once I make that wager, but those are the 2. And then I'm swimming around Rose, Fitz, Kitayama, Siwoo, Rory Morikawa or Fleetwood, one of those guys. But I can't do anything at the top of the board until I hear what's going on with Rory. And I think that the less that I hear, the better his number is going to bet, that the more that would direct me towards Rory, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
Jeff?
All right. So, like I said, it's funny to have the futures here, but Ludwig 45, Cam Young 50, who we didn't talk about. So now we're already done with quick pick, Pat. I already don't like it because I heard the broadcast say he drove the ball incredible on Sunday and his wedges were horrible. And that's how like Rory won last year. It was like his driver and his wedges were amazing.
If you don't hit your wedges well at Sawgrass, you have no chance of winning.
Yeah.
So like I'm a little spinning on that pick. We didn't talk about him at all, so I'm sorry for violating quick picks. But I've been meaning to say that the bets were already in, and the announcer's like, he's had 7 wedges today. He hasn't hit one within 14 feet.
Yeah, but I think it's different. Like the spin control on the greens at Sawgrass just aren't the same as they are at Bay Hill. Like you have to hit different wedge shots. The wedge shots, and he won at Wyndham. Like we've seen a lot of Wyndham Championship winners win at Sawgrass, mainly in May, not so much in March. Mainly because major champions don't play at the Wyndham Championship. But he hit his wedges immaculately that week on his way to the win because you can hit the ball behind the hole. You couldn't spin the ball. Like you had to spin the ball to get it to stop and not roll off the greens at Bay Hill. At Sawgrass, that's not how it works.
No. They have to be as good with their wedges as you are. So roll it right back towards that pin.
Let's get it.
Do you like Rom back-to-back this week?
What?
At Live Singapore?
I don't give a fuck about Live Singapore.
Oh.
We're talking about the players.
So Ludwig, Cam, Minwoo. I did say last week, anyone who I bet at Arnold, I was rolling over. So that's just what we're doing. And then at the top, it's like I would Cam agree I like Pat agree before I make a move. Although if this Tommy drifts, I'm betting Tommy. I want to wait to see Rory before I decide to bet on Morikawa. We'll leave it at that.
And your
Russell Henley also in the fishbowl. You never heard me say that before.
Your 3?
They are Corey Connors, Sepp Straka, and Rose. And Rose is my one and done.
What if you had to make a pick from the higher end of the
He said
playing
Xander.
I would take Schauffele.
One and done picks for the Players' Championship. You have selected Rose. Jeff, you beat me because you had Morikawa last week, but that's okay because I will take Morikawa as my one and done.
Have I used Russell Henley?
Nico Echevarria, Siwoo Kim. I've already used Siwoo. No, you have not.
Let's go. I'll get T6 out of that at the Players. Let's
Not
go.
bad. T6 at the Players worth a lot of money.
Sure it is.
All right. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you. It's been a while.
And people will see you for not this Thursday, but probably the next 2 Thursdays with a brand new Cust Corner and a feature-length version of Judge Cust.
That is true. We did record that into the can.
Jeffrey, it was nice seeing you and having dinner with you and your lovely wife.
It was wonderful to see you, have dinner with you. We don't, it's rare we get to interact IRL. So I enjoyed that a lot.
You're not going to play any live all week. You're going to leave live alone this weekend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless like Burmeester's 100 to 1 or something.
I have no idea.
Tim, if I don't speak to you, I wish you the best.
Thank
I know
you,
there'll
Jeffrey.
be a lot of rumors on the internet that are going to scare the shit out of you.
They're already scaring me.
And I want what's best for the show.
But like Tua doesn't make any sense for the Jets.
Yeah, it makes sense.
That
for
does.
the
You can tank and you can eat a number.
You're
Yes,
turning
you can.
Minka, Tua. You're just Dolphins North.
No,
You don't tank for Tua. It's tank with Tua.
If that were such a reasonable strategy, Miami would have just kept him.
Okay, Tim, but let's ask this question because sorry, I'm bursting to ask because you are always this person who gets mad at people who like don't want their teams to get a higher draft pick even in December. You would just sit there and you wouldn't want to tank with Tua. You'd want to win with Tua.
I don't want to lose anything. I think, particularly when you haven't made the playoffs in 15 years, you need to
you're not making the
instantiate a winning.
playoffs.
You need to instantiate a winning culture in the franchise. Losing year after year after year after year does not help you. Cannot help you.
Are you already workshopping? Do you have drafted tweets about the Tua signing potentially?
No, I don't.
You were pretty fired up when it sounded like they were going to get Kyler.
I can live with Kyler. Kyler has, but I mean, it likely wouldn't go well. But like Kyler fits the Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold mold. But what will happen is the Jets will sign him, and then he'll go play shortstop for the Athletics. That's what's going to happen.
And did you really mean your insult about my new fullback? Because that's getting a lot of praise.
No, I mean, it's whatever. You're a team that you've got a coaching staff that likes to run the ball and wants to be physical. It's a throwback, but like,
dude, what do you mean?
Go
The
for it.
old offense was the throwback. The old offense was the I form with the fat fullback who can't move, and now they have like a little mini version of what the 49ers have at fullback.
I believe you deserve a grace period to see what you can do with the offense. So I think it's a lot of money for a fullback, but hey, look, if he can produce like Yuzhik, then fine. Like maybe it'll work out. Who knows? Maybe I like Los Angeles a lot this year. I guess we'll have to find out sometime. Maybe I like both Los Angeles teams
Well,
a
look,
lot.
if the baby hasn't come, maybe after the free agent period stops here, we can get together and talk about some of the signings.
We can do that because some of them have already been happening, but the juicier ones are still yet to come.
Well, that will do.
Yeah, no, we can't do a show because everything would be dated in like 40 minutes.
Agreed.
Exactly.
That's why you got to kind of wait till it's done, then do it, unless it was a real-time show. Anyway, we're talking about the Players' Championship. Thanks for sticking with us. I really hope you enjoyed the show. Me, Tambo, and Blickle on Tuesday. Keith and I on Wednesday morning. Maybe Tuesday night if I'm feeling generous. Then the live chat, then the Cut Sweat Live. Hit the description. Get yourself that $1 for the rabbit hole for the week with code Sawgrass. The free newsletter is down there. There's tons of stuff down there. The Cool Bet bonus, the Underdog bonus. Just be searching that description. You can find a ton. I want to thank you all for watching. Good luck this week at the Players, and I'll see you next time.
Mayo Experience! Experience!